Baonani, Aya, Baba Shushui. Amen.
Yeah, that's what I believe. See his sunshine is all around us, and there are beautiful clouds where you are. That's how I know that these worries will not last. I can see you've been crying and staying wide awake, asking yourself why the journey is so tough. They say tough times never last, only tough people do. So don't stop believing, I know it's gonna be better. Say la, 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 ba-dum, ba-dum, boom, la, 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 ba-dum. Can't be loved by everybody, it's impossible, you know. And trust me, it's okay, so let the toxic people go. Your peace within is more priceless than a pearl. You got to be happy, cause life's just way too short. Don't stress the little things, they will only waste your time. Just take it easy, easy like a nursery rhyme. And I'm singing, I know it's gonna be okay. So I wanna see you smile today. Hey, you just gotta be happy, man. Good days, bad days, it's all part of life. But you must keep the groove on and enjoy every single day. I'm sure you've had some happy days before. So what makes you think you can't have more? Keep on fighting and you'll see. You will soon see rainbows. Hey, come on! La, 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 la. La, 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 la. Ba-dum, ba-dum, boom. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. Ba-dum, ba-dum, boom. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. Ba-dum, ba-dum, boom. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. Around the way. Beautiful clouds, where you are, where you are. There are beautiful clouds, where you are, where you are. Oh, oh.
ye bompa ye wo Hebrew mu Shamak Israel Yehovah Elahenu Yehovah Ekad we ahata et Yehovah Elohika bika luvika uvika navashika uvika miyopika tode yashach in English in the name of Jesus amen ye bompa ye wo Hebrew mu Shamak Israel Yehovah Elahenu Yehovah Ekad we ahata et Yehovah Elohika bika luvika uvika navashika uvika miyopika tode yashach in English in the name of Jesus amen ye bompa ye wo Hebrew mu Shamak Israel Yehovah Elahenu Yehovah Ekad we ahata et Yehovah Elohika bika luvika uvika navashika uvika miyopika tode yashach
Jawa.
Besi, ana mimi. Basi na ujaje upige mami. Don't worry. I don't want no back to. Ah, haza no. Wajale haza tu.
Come on. Oh, we be kachayana.
Sawa.
Jawa.
Besi, ana mimi. Basi na ujaje upige mami. Don't worry. I don't want no back to. Ah, haza no. Wajale haza tu.
Come on. Oh, we be kachayana.
Sawa.
Leda wase na jedi kan menchia watifo a ehwe fidi kronkron so nyina o chema wutumi no obae no oba hasa maboaman ho hwe nipa baakofo ekwan ofaso ma nsuoyiri afasa maboa kro nyina na ni nyina ho de ne free se na power wo mo wonti cause ye hwe ma hu se adwuma no mo ye na nya ne mra kwan so ben so na mama mu na ne panyini so wa ba miti o se chema wutumi se o ye de o ye o se ye de 20 years say afu me chen to aso o ye ne nkoyi maye iti o ye ni pala be se ne ye je ne de to me de wa haye na so law na taking course nti me ntumi ka se me dana se ye me de bet chema wutumi de se je ana ka sa do bi aso be ye nti o deserve se je because o man ho so wo sama boy ha emu ko ye ko manipa ba ko wi chema wutumi ka se nipa ba ko wi etutu bo nipa no oh ha bebre iti chema wutumi okono ba bi ma bo se emra wo wiase anipa ba ko fo ma sama tese adwuma hwede si ko yeye numre folo so nya na wonam ho na wo se na wo yese ye kaka nam se wa na wo obusi wo do sesi obunti yo ba ya na wo ye iti ama si asama boy do ya bread ye no so ebre no so ko brebi enti te and I must say, I may and pay a summer never change. I'm saying about the high and papa, and I'm saying, so go cran, I say, go no, and I said, it won't do so with papers. Now I say, tuning in there, but to go now. See, I papa, and say, a pen, no, the people in a more dreaming in Mama higher boy, papa, boy, 40 years, my papa, just enjoying the cura, Lord the hair. Yes, a man penny for say, I won't take a man to church, was a man to a moon feeling. A slow mumba kaya, no feel I'm my mares young toy. I'm friendly, I'm Nana, and we're better, and I must miss a man.
May a bad time. Oh, say. Some from Sobia Bamba, as one consider. Yen so be ya bonia, ye just a bit to the so. I'm a nitia. Was I sassy? I know Chris can you bet general, ever to me, dear, I be a man. Gana for Biasa prison, so Mugo Munya, but to me, dear, Biafil, Afidium. Now, more coaching it to no idea, Baba. yesrema Ghana fo achichachiche si ade adoso menim de ochina bembeka bebua Ghana ban so ayade so obi aye mfomso no achi natuma menim ne akire be mezo beto me hu ni ba bia ozo de beye no because this time we at so mbe tribunal court ni ade first ye bo tribunal din kura na just ye uko first tribunal ni ye kwa akoku ande mesrawo omo hwe no omo ye bibi mfa ho na branden onya ne fa ho bi anya se o ye me deso abese forest no but anya me deso si ye de na kwa akotu o ya branden fe no osisi obo ne bra o sha no me nyina na o ye sa ade ni nyam se Ghana fo nya ye nitua me mpo sha se me ti bibi se ye se president no na ono ma ne kwan o ma ne tumi so mfa me the president amani tumi so mfa metua na se bibi sa aba ada president no hu kwa so de ba mana anga that time na o tunu ge na nga se Ghana fo ye kan bibi ye ne na do kan bibi ya nga hwe ya se ye mo obeye ababu Ghana fo no ma binum zo adwuma ye o sa asini nya na binum zo nya adwuma unemployment no ateso ha no ma binum zo ye adwuma ye ndem ye sra ma ansa guza ye mgotodwa ku fom Ghana president amamu amubu no ne baabi no eye de betedru baabi a na mu ya odru baabi a na mu ya pa se bi be ye bomso kakra bi kim ye de na koto me pa cho me kan me so bo de ko social media bi be gina ho di matam just because I need to see ade ni nyango ba koto me ho di matam me bo de men di because phone okura me no me huta mbo me nya kwan bo hwehwe so de wo ya me so men di me stromo anjaye to me dia anjaye na me ka do be ka so ya MPP ni ndra o kasa but anya me de o ya ndisi ni kura nga me ka se ya va no kotum for 20 good ya say in life me stroma so mu twa bibi to ni trisu na ye ya o ma de bi agitum so bi okita sa adwuma de Ghana fo ye nya ya gitum se o Oscar and sa 20 years ye hwe ho sika German mondia no nya no fa ahodie aya me ya pa me de nya me se me forest no ma se me bibia o m Ghana fo ye nyina ye japade na wa se na fine me stroma
me de me ni asembe aka e ma no baby I said it for na model aban de aye de e de ato me de me ko baby ena me de minum se sa e de ntina sa asem na ye de e baaye an nsu ye afa ena ma hwehwe mu no mu se sa de ntina asem na ye de aba nsu ntimi fa ye no ma jeli de se me de mini tumi bia what I say una mo hwehwe eman ye aban no hwe de e beboa no no aye de why
I'm saying, Chema went to in fact, about because I'm saying there, say, or Yan Dada, them say about or blood on from blood, but they were no council, I say, I'm saying. And then they are buying some of my hand, in fact, a higher papa. The bears in so to ya, in so to ya, a for Korea, because Nega say, yeah, you won't side it. Bega me say no komeya kono ase komoya mutu amani ya makata so na e kama we mutu ya umeja mana ho sana moko but in fact chama mutu wa haye pa ono o wi sa no akota na yi o akota na kumasi o sakra nti ge 20 years am say me ya judge na judge no nye ope no na oye o se ni a oye no anye ni ye nti o ge 20 years no kwa so ano so boy so boy wait
Monfa camera no mon project here mami.
Wait, when your friend
that's right.
When your friend go.
So boy.
When your friend go. When your friend go.
When you teso no.
When you teso.
Sika koko.
Etinya krata no a. Ya wono
ekura ye.
Ana ma Ghana enya sika o. What you say? When your friend go. What you say? And it's a solid money.
Solid money.
Solid money. What you say? Sas kana ye no e de aye liquid.
Yeah.
What you say? Aye liquid. Mami fa to say na what me hu. Mami fa to say no what me hu.
E bi so.
Me de bi ka ho ama na.
Sir.
Me de bi ka ho ama what me hu. Wait. When your friend says solid. Aye solid.
Sika koko.
Aye sika koko solid money.
Number 1.
Solid. What I say, mami for being careful. Hey, me do be careful. What I say, solid money. when we talk about money, it's not a bad goal. Bags can you
want to me?
Adia Magana. It's a possible need bag Ghana. No, one was a higher friend has Sika and Puano. What I say, and was a friend has Gold Coast. What I say, solid money. Mammy Fabio Munchro. What I say, solid. What I say, solid money. Solid. What I solid money. Mammy Fabio Munchro. Solid money. I'm talking about solid money. What I say, and your casa want to me was Sika. And your bango. And your gold. And to some gold, yeah, I can't watch me. What it, Mammy Fabio Munchro. Mammy Fabio Munchro. Solid money. We are talking about solid money. Solid money. Oh, and that's Mammy Fabio Crass. Mammy Fabio Musacho.
Shamaki Israel Yahuwah ila henu Yahuwah eka. Amen. We are hata et Yahuwah. Amen. Allah hika bika luvika. Amen. Uvika na vasika. Uvika ni yeduka. Tone yasa. Amen. Tone yasa. Amen. Tone yasa. Tone yasa. Amen. Mese. Obiet mi ronga yo.
Yes, Kasano. Hebrew. So not Hebrew.
Obiet mi ronga yo. Obiet mi.
Good afternoon to all of you. The New Patriotic Party has become aware of the judgment delivered today by the High Court, the case involving our Ashanti Regional Chairman, Mr. Bernard Ntwibo Siapo, popularly known as Chairman Wontumi. Indeed, we consider the decision of the court as amounting to political imprisonment. Indeed, Chairman Wontumi is a political prisoner. We address you today with profound disappointment, but also with an unwavering commitment to the rule of law, constitutional democracy, and the pursuit of justice. While we respect the authority of our courts, respect for the judiciary does not require silence in the face of a judgment that is fundamentally flawed. Our Constitution guarantees every citizen the right to disagree with judicial decisions and to seek redress through the appellate process. That is precisely what we intend to do as a political party. Ladies and gentlemen, it is our considered view that Chairman Wontumi has been convicted in circumstances where there was no evidence at all to support a conviction in respect of the offense for which he has been convicted. It was never disputed that Chairman Wontumi lawfully acquired his mineral concession. It was never disputed that he lawfully acquired his mineral concession. That fact was established and accepted before the court. The central question was whether that concession had been assigned or transferred in violation of the law. It is our respected view that no evidence was adduced before the court establishing any such assignment or transfer of mineral rights by Chairman Wontumi. The prosecution could not produce any evidence to show that Wontumi had assigned his mineral rights. Instead, the conviction rested on assumptions and inferences which, in our view, could not amount to proof beyond reasonable doubt. That is why we firmly believe that his conviction is a travesty of justice and has to be overturned on appeal. Fellow Ghanaians, equally disturbing is the broader context within which this prosecution has taken place. A troubling pattern is emerging in our country. A pattern where the government appears eager to shield its own while relentlessly pursuing perceived political opponents who have done no wrong. Today, the John Mahama-led NDC government may seek to celebrate this conviction as evidence of its commitment to fight against illegal mining. Where there is evidence of galamsey on a large scale engaged and supervised by leading members of John Mahama's government, we reject that narrative entirely. And I repeat, the New Patriotic Party rejects that narrative entirely. They think that the conviction of Chairman Wontumi will be the trophy to appease the Ghanaian people for their failures. This is no trophy. The Ghanaian people cannot fail to notice that while the political opponents who have done no wrong are being aggressively persecuted, questions remain unanswered regarding individuals associated with his party and government who have themselves been publicly linked to illegal mining activities. Indeed, the president himself has acknowledged that persons in his administration are involved in galamsey. What concrete action has followed those admissions? Who are those members of the present party that are engaged in galamsey of which the president knows of? What has become of the petition submitted to Economic and Organized Crime Office, EOCO, seeking an investigation into allegations concerning Mr. Joseph Yamin, the NDC national organizer, and Abanga Yakubu, vice chairman of the NDC? They're asking these questions. The president, what has become of those investigations? What has happened to Honorable Mohammed Yakubu, NDC MP for Afano South East, and his DC who was sacked from a chief's palace after they alleged that he was heavily involved in galamsey in their traditional area? What happened to the NDC MP for Aworin, Honorable Oscar Ofori Labi, who was accused by the chiefs and the people of Aworin, as well as Ghana's coalition against galamsey, for engaging in galamsey? Why has the nation not witnessed the same level of urgency and determination in those matters? Justice cannot be selective. And I repeat, justice cannot be selective. The fight against illegal mining cannot become credible only when it targets political opponents in respect of whom evidence of wrongdoing does not exist, while overlooking allegations involving others, especially from the president's own party. Ladies and gentlemen, we also wish to state that Ghana faces far greater than political persecution at a time when our nation is grappling with growing security threats, the devastating impact of illegal mining on our cocoa farmers and farming communities and the areas owned by farmers, the government's inadequate response to recent flooding across the country, and the increasing menace of terrorism within the sub-region. Ghanaians expect leadership that demonstrates urgency, competence, and an unwavering commitment to protecting lives, livelihoods, and national security. No government should attempt to divert public attention from those pressing national concerns through selective prosecutions designed to create the appearance of success. Finally, let me assure all members of the New Patriotic Party and the good people of Ghana that Chairman Wontumi is not alone. There is no justification for the judgment since the judge obviously ignored clear evidence exonerating Wontumi. The New Patriotic Party stands firmly with him. Our legal team has already commenced the necessary steps to challenge his judgment through the appellate process. The NPP considers Wontumi a political prisoner. The NPP considers Wontumi a political prisoner.
A bumpire or Hebrew. Shamak Israel Yehovah, Elahenu Yehovah Ekat. We ahata et Yehovah, Elohika Bika Luvika, Uvika Navashika, Uvika Miyopika, Tode Yashach, Tode Yashach, Tode Yashach in English, in the name of Jesus. Amen.
All right, good morning, good morning. Thank you very much for joining the show. This is Good Morning Ghana on the Metro Television. My name is Aldo Moro. It's always a pleasure to come your way. It's a beautiful Tuesday morning, and indeed, this is the day the Lord has made. We're glad as we're able to return here to join the nation's conversation on the big issues that are making the rounds in our dear country, Ghana. Today is the 21st of July, 2026. Let's go straight ahead and look at what the papers are reporting this morning. So I'll start with the Daily Graphic that says that Galamsey Wontumi jailed 20 years and a conviction victory for environmental advocacy group. There's also cabinet approved $331 million to end the SHS double track. There's MIIF post 1.1 billion cedis profits in 2025. President asks ECOWAS to implement protocols on xenophobic attacks. The Ghanaian Times says fight against illegal mining. Wontumi jailed 20 years. MPP reject conviction. Heads to Court of Appeal. There's BOG stops gold purchase pre-financing arrangement. Agric Minister Defense in Kukon Kitinkete project size drop in poultry prices. 4 in 10 cancer cases preventable. World Health Organization. There's government reviews CSSPS to address placement challenges. Daily Guide. Wontumi jailed 20 years, fined 300,000 cedis for illegal mining. There's MPP vows to appeal Wontumi's conviction. Bankra project. Supreme Court affirms High Court's ruling against APSL. Dr. Masobwache sponsors student ecotourism trip. There's police NAP 5. Land guard seize guns and ammunitions. There's MPP vows to appeal Wontumi's conviction. The Insight this morning is reporting that Wontumi jailed 20 years for Galamsey. MPP vows to appeal in Sawam sentence with hard labor. Nene Asamoah appeals for peace development in Greater Ningo, in Great Ningo, as traditional council affirms legitimacy. MMDCEs must be empowered to lead Ghana's sanitation revolution, that says Professor Kofi Anoche. Suhum MCE gets thumbs up by Akroba Akukoso community over achievement. Government to build 50,000 houses for teachers under Teacher Dabre initiative, according to Haruna. Youth Development Ministry launches Germany Labour Exchange Program as it opens Europe jobs for Ghanaian youth. The Economic Times this morning is reporting that mining sector sets for major regulatory overhaul as Cabinet approves new law reforms. Key fiscal and monetary policy decisions due this week. TOR sent to expansion to meet 70% of Ghana's fuel demand. The Daily Post is reporting that Chairman Wontumi jailed 20 years over illegal mining. And then it also has GMTF, that's Whole Teaching Hospital Chart Path for improved chronic disease care in Volta region. Government identifies 152nd cycle institutions for rehabilitation to strengthen free SHS. And government to build new community day SHS in Nima, Ayawaso and Kaswa. The Daily Searchlight says the Anti-Galamsey Coalition questions NIMO's selective enforcement. There's Wontumi conviction a travesty, according to the MPP. There's party questions President Mohammed's Anti-Galamsey campaign. And then you have Wontumi, a political prisoner. MPP declares, announces decision to appeal against 20-year jail term. Mahama honors late Dagbon King's legacy of peace and national unity. Minority slams Wontumi jail term, vows legal battle. And then the BNFT says that stock market, GSE rally to continue. SM Capital has earnings, macro stability boosts investor confidence. DTFA links hundreds to employers, entrepreneurship and future careers. BOG weighs liquidity shift after ending gold board financing. AG orders illegal miners to vacate global ore concession. All right. Metro TV Online says that Hull City targets Black Stars star. That's Kwesi Sebo after World Cup heroics. Chedes, the new force, denies any link with the base movement. And then as Brussels Airlines flight returns to Accra after technical fault shortly after takeoff. Does Ghana secure 24th spot in final 2026 FIFA World Cup rankings? What are the quote cards saying is up next. All right, so here we go. Kel from MetroTVOnline.com. It says, Akonta mining case, Chamawuntumi jailed 20 years. That's right there. And then you have President Mahama hints at Ghana Cote d'Ivoire joint bid to host future AFCON. And then there's also, still MetroTVOnline.com, as the quote cards are saying, Education Minister to outline 3 billion cedis plan to end SHS double track system. Ex-soldier, ward assistant accused of 1.68 million cedis army recruitment scam. All right, so that's it for the quote cards and also the newspaper and the online review. Stay with us. This is Good Morning Ghana on the Metro Television. Please don't go anywhere.
And there they are. The squad is ready, lined up, ice cold, focused and prepared for national duty. Every bottle in position, every label shining with confidence. And here comes the selection. One bottle steps forward, picked from the squad, ready to deliver for Ghana. He takes the first sip. Oh yes, refreshingly hydrating. The whistle goes. The Black Stars are on the move. He breaks through the defense like flowing water. Beautiful control. He lines it up. He strikes. Goal! Ghana is awake. From the fridge to the field, Awake keeps you refreshed. Awake purified drinking water. One for life. Proudly supporting the National Cardiothoracic Center. This advert is FDA approved.
Are you a headmaster, headmistress, parent, teacher, or an educator looking for high-quality textbooks for preschool, primary, and junior high school students? Look no further than Advocate Publishing Company. Advocate Publishing Company is a leading publisher of educational materials in Ghana that publishes very engaging, interactive, and comprehensive textbooks that meet the needs of students, teachers, and parents. Our textbooks are thoroughly published to make learning fun and easy. They are also designed to stimulate critical thinking, problem solving, and creativity in students. Make Advocate Publishing your preferred choice for all your educational needs. Explore our range of textbooks and educational resources. Visit us at the old GNTC yard near Kingsway, Accra. You can contact us on 0503 786 776 or 02408 06354, also 0531 600 and connect with us on Instagram, X and Facebook at Advo Publishing. Don't settle for less, choose the best. Advocate Publishing Company, empowering young minds one textbook at a time. Thinking publishing, think Advocate Publishing.
Finding my dream apartment in just 2 days was a breeze with 7terragh.com. Looking for your next home, the perfect piece of land, or the best commercial property for your business? Are you worried about sending money home for property and finding nothing when you return? Well, worry no more. 7terragh.com is just a platform to find prime lands, perfect properties, or vibrant real estate development at the click of a button. 7terragh.com is your go-to property listing platform that allows you to register, list, rent, buy or sell, and connect with correct agents. With our AI-powered smart search, personalized dashboards, verified agent connection, and interactive property maps, all your property needs have been made easier. Check us out on 7terragh.com or contact us on 0302 998 246 or 0561 032 252. 7terragh.com, powered by MNC Properties.
Mommy, good morning.
Good morning, my son. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, Mom. How about you?
I'm fine.
Joe, I just saw your mom doing her usual morning routine. Like, it was just 2 weeks she underwent a major colon surgery.
Bro, see, my mom is doing perfectly fine, and we're all excited about it. It was minimally invasive surgery, and the recovery has been very fast.
Minimally? Hey! No, wait. What do you mean by that?
So they offered my mom a laparoscopic colon surgery. Laparoscopic colon surgery, which we accepted. It turned out it was equally safe with a very fast recovery time, and the cost involved too was very, very reasonable. She was discharged 3 days after the surgery, and you can see her, she's on her feet again.
3 days?
Just 3 days, bro.
Mean Tuber Hospital, first Ghana Colorectal Center, aimed to serve a peculiar health need.
Looking for comfort, convenience, and class all in one place? Welcome to Stay Easy Apartments on Conference Center, where modern living meets exceptional service. Whether you're staying for business or leisure, Stay Easy offers you a home away from home. Spacious and well-furnished apartments, pool, gym, and everything you need to relax and feel at ease. Planning a meeting, workshop, or special event? Our event ground and state-of-the-art conference center is designed to host your events and bring your vision to life. From corporate gatherings to private functions, we provide the perfect space, supported by modern equipment and a professional team ready to assist you. At Stay Easy, your comfort and success are our priority. Book your stay or reserve your space today. Call us at 020-739-1473 or 0244-226367. Stay Easy Apartments and Conference Center. Stay easy with us.
In my line of work, a confident smile is everything. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste keeps me on top of my game and ensures my smile is always radiant and bright.
With the tiring nature of my job, we spend several hours under the scorching sun. To keep our teeth white and our breath fresh all the time, we use none other than Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. You're on a Kessie and in a kit one.
Samayo Kendini, who be here, Semetra Sapapadia to Amame Manfo, Kel Charcoal's natural ingredients, and a bomb is so by. A man is swing, Nesansu Mama Hotoso, a will beg you.
Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Choose Kel Charcoal Toothpaste for anti-cavity, whiter teeth, and fresher breath all day. Available in 80 gram and 150 gram. Grab yours today.
Kel, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Today's class is going to be an exciting one. Now, who can share an unforgettable moment in their life? Okay, Asempa.
I'd like to talk about my first time. It was her natural look, complemented by her favorite green silky apparel that caught my attention. I have to say, she automatically possessed me with her smile, which exposed her beautiful white teeth. That's not all, her enduring signature perfume could be smelled from afar. Madam, why do you look so surprised? My first time with her was special and irresistible. I'm talking about Cindy Rice. Cindy Rice can be found in selected supermarkets nationwide.
Cindy Rice, sweet aroma, great taste. This advert is FDA approved.
From the rich soils of Ghana, our farmers grow the finest ingredients. We clean, hand select, and carefully craft into bold, unforgettable flavors. And when you open our little bag of big taste, it's pure, bold, unforgettable flavor bursting in every bite. Enjoy the goodness, made with big care. This advert is FDA approved.
Ye bompaye wo Hebrew mu. Shamak Israel Yehovah. Elahenu Yehovah Ekad. We ahata et Yehovah. Elohika bika luvika. Uvika navashika. Uvika miyubika. Tode yashach. Tode yashach. Tode yashach. In English, in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Jawa.
This is a new move. The back there will be a good pick money. Don't worry. I don't want to back you. I will have that. So I don't have that.
Come on. Oh, we be catch there now. Jawa.
So boy. Wait.
Mumfa camera no mum project here mami.
Wait, that's right. When your friend goat.
So boy.
When your friend goat. When your friend goat.
When you teso no.
When you teso.
Sika kokko.
Etinya krata no a. Ya wono
ekura ye.
Ana ma Ghana enya sika o. What you say? When your friend goat. What you say? And it's a solid money.
Solid money.
Solid money. What you say? Says can I no? And a liquid.
Yeah.
What you say? A liquid. Mami fan to say na. What me hu? Mami fan to say no. What me hu?
Ebisa
me de bi kan ho ama na.
Sir.
Me de bi kan ho ama. Ama what me hu? Wait. When your friend says solid, are you solid?
Sika kokko.
Are you sika kokko? Solid money.
Number one.
Solid. What does mami for being count? Hey, me do be count. What does solid money? When we talk about money, it's not a bag go. Bags can you hold? Adia Magana. It's a possible ni bag Ghana no. Who no say higher friend sika and poano. What does say? I know say friend have gold coast. What you say? Solid money. Mami Fabio Munchro. What you say? Solid. What you say? Solid money. Solid. What you solid money? Mami Fabio Munchro. Solid. Solid money. I'm talking about solid money. What you say? If your casa want to me was sika. And your bango. And your gold. And it's all good here. I can't watch me. What Mami Fabio Munchro. Mami Fabio Munchro. Solid money. We are talking about solid money. Solid money. Oh, and that's Mami Fabio Crasancho. Mami Fabio Musancho. Shamak Israel Yehovah Ilahenu Yehovah Ekad. Amen. We ahata et Yehovah. Amen. Elohika bika luvika. Amen. Uvika navashika. Uvika miyeduka. Tode yashach. Amen. Tode yashach. Amen. Tode yashach. Tode yashach. Amen. Me say, obiet mi ronga yo.
Yes, kasa no Hebrew. So not Hebrew.
Obiet mi ronga yo. Obiet mi.
Good afternoon to all of you. The New Patriotic Party has become aware of the judgment delivered today by the High Court, the case involving our Ashanti Regional Chairman, Mr. Bernard Ntwibo Siapo, popularly known as Chairman Wontumi. Indeed, we consider the decision of the court as amounting to political imprisonment. Indeed, Chairman Wontumi is a political prisoner. We address you today with profound disappointment, but also with an unwavering commitment to the rule of law, constitutional democracy, and the pursuit of justice. While we respect the authority of our courts, respect for the judiciary does not require silence in the face of a judgment that is fundamentally flawed. Our constitution guarantees every citizen the right to disagree with judicial decisions and to seek redress through the appellate process. That is precisely what we intend to do as a political party. Ladies and gentlemen, it is our considered view that Chairman Wontumi has been convicted in circumstances where there was no evidence at all to support a conviction in respect of the offense for which he has been convicted. It was never disputed that Chairman Wontumi lawfully acquired his mineral concession. It was never disputed that he lawfully acquired his mineral concession. That fact was established and accepted before the court. The central question was whether that concession had been assigned or transferred in violation of the law. It is our respected view that no evidence was adduced before the court establishing any such assignment or transfer of mineral rights by Chairman Wontumi. The prosecution could not produce any evidence to show that Wontumi had assigned his mineral rights. Instead, the conviction rested on assumptions and inferences which, in our view, could not amount to proof beyond reasonable doubt. That is why we firmly believe that his conviction is a travesty of justice and has to be overturned on appeal. Fellow Ghanaians, equally disturbing is the broader context within which this prosecution has taken place. A troubling pattern is emerging in our country, a pattern where the government appears eager to shield its own while relentlessly pursuing perceived political opponents who have done no wrong. Today, the John Mahama-led NDC government may seek to celebrate this conviction as evidence of its commitment to fight against illegal mining. Where there is evidence of galamsey on a large scale engaged and supervised by leading members of John Mahama's government, we reject that narrative entirely. And I repeat, the New Patriotic Party rejects that narrative entirely. They think that the conviction of Chairman Wontumi will be the trophy to appease the Ghanaian people for their failures. This is no trophy. The Ghanaian people cannot fail to notice that while the political opponents who have done no wrong are being aggressively persecuted, questions remain unanswered regarding individuals associated with his party and government who have themselves been publicly linked to illegal mining activities. Indeed, the president himself has acknowledged that persons in his administration are involved in galamsey. What concrete action has followed those admissions? Who are those members of the president's party that are engaged in galamsey of which the president knows of? What has become of the petition submitted to Economic and Organized Crime Office, EOCO, seeking an investigation into allegations concerning Mr. Joseph Yamin, the NDC national organizer, and Abanga Yakubu, vice chairman of the NDC? We're asking these questions. The president, what has become of those investigations? What has happened to Honorable Mohamed Yakubu, NDC MP for Afano South East, and his DC who was sacked from a chief's palace after they alleged that he was heavily involved in galamsey in their traditional area? What happened to the NDC MP for Aworin, Honorable Oscar Ofori Labi, who was accused by the chiefs and the people of Aworin, as well as Ghana's coalition against galamsey, for engaging in galamsey? Why has the nation not witnessed the same level of urgency and determination in those matters? Justice cannot be selective. And I repeat, justice cannot be selective. The fight against illegal mining cannot become credible only when it targets political opponents in respect of whom evidence of wrongdoing does not exist, while overlooking allegations involving others, especially from the president's own party. Ladies and gentlemen, we also wish to state that Ghana faces far greater than political persecution at a time when our nation is grappling with growing security threats, the devastating impact of illegal mining on our cocoa farmers and farming communities and the areas owned by farmers, the government's inadequate response to recent flooding across the country, and the increasing menace of terrorism within the sub-region. Ghanaians expect leadership that demonstrates urgency, competence, and an unwavering commitment to protecting lives, livelihoods, and national security. No government should attempt to divert public attention from those pressing national concerns through selective prosecutions designed to create the appearance of success. Finally, let me assure all members of the New Patriotic Party and the good people of Ghana that Chairman Wontumi is not alone. There is no justification for the judgment since the judge obviously ignored clear evidence exonerating Wontumi. The New Patriotic Party stands firmly with him. Our legal team has already commenced the necessary steps to challenge his judgment through the appellate process. The NPP considers Wontumi a political prisoner. The NPP considers Wontumi a political prisoner.
Yeah, I say, now you can mention what Tifua, a chef of the concurrence. Oh, Chairman Wontumi, no, or by no, I have some about my own. She nipa back for a coin of first man in Suya for some boy, Queen. Then I want any free send up our woman. Cause a man who say a man on my and then get him a so. Ben so, and now my move and the penny is what bamity was a chairman Wontumi, so yet. We say a deal 20 years, I say, I'm from a child to us, or yeah, and I'm calling my it or any pala, but send a dear. To me, they were high. Now, so Lord, I taking the course. Into me to make a say me dana say me the bet. Chairman Wontumi, they say, Jana, I will be asked by into who deserves CJ because or man also a summer boy. And more queer come and nipper who we. Chairman Wontumi can say nipper who we. A tutu bonipano. Oh, I have a brave. It's Chairman Wontumi, yeah, or Cono baby ma, bones and now we are saying. I need to go for my summer test. You may feel this quiet. No follows when you are now more. Now we say, now yes, say, and I'm say, one of the Busu, Udo says you bunty, you by an hour. It can say some boy do ya bread and also a bread also could be. Indeed, and I must say, I may and pay a summer never change. You know, I'm saying about the high and papa. I'm saying, so Coco Kurana say, Coco no any I said, it is papers. Now I say, tuning in there, but to go yet. See, I pepper prepare, and say a pen, no, the people in a more dreaming in a antique, but my higher boy, papa, for the young man, papa, just enjoying the cura. No, the hand. Yes, a man penny for say, I'm not trick, I'm not to talk, I'm not much of a feeling. A straw Mombaka, I'm feeling, I'm my amazing on toy. I'm friendly, I'm not a way better, the damas, and this I mean.
May a bad time. Oh, say, some from Sobia Bamba, as some consider. Then so be your bonia, you just got it to the so. I'm a nitria. Was I sassy? I know Crascania Bageno, ever to me, dear, I be Biama, Ghana for Biasa prisons or Mugo Munya Bianini, but to me, dear, Biafil, Afidium. Now, more coaching it to no idea, Baba. Yes, Rama, Ghana for the churches, see, dear, adorso. Minim the Ochina Bakabi Buagana Basu, I dear. So be I am from Son watching Atuma. Minim near Chirabim, about to be Huni baby or Zod the Bayano. Because this time we had to some by Trabuna court near the first year, what Trabuna didn't cry. Not just the Oko first Trabuna near Quacoku and the Mistro, Mistrarum, almost an omnia bim found. Na Brandon only an farm. And yes, I am a dress of myself for a smooth. But I am a Delcia than our Quacotu. Or your brandy fin was so or Bonabra. Or Sahan Miniana or yes, I didn't Mr. Ghana for Nitria. Mimpasasian me TB said, yes, President no, and now, or no man a crime, or money to me so vomit. The president of money to me so vomitria. Nasa Bibi Saba. And the president no who quite saw the mana. And got that time now to get. Nanga say Ghana for a can be and then another can be. Young country, I say, yeah, more obey. Ababua Ghana for no, my bedroom my ye. Also, I sitting in a bedroom Juma on employment. No, I test what my bedroom Juma and them yes, Roma. And so with Zayam go to Joku from Ghana president. Amamua mubuno. Ne baby no a yadia, but a drew baby and name where ya. Drew baby and name more ya pass a baby of soccer crabby. Kim, yet Nakotu. My patron make a minute some of the course to share me. Baby, what did you matter? Just because I ended the sea, I didn't go back or two. But what did matter me what they meant because full no cramming. Me would have bought me a chef. Do I am Miss Romo and Jay. To me, dear and Jay. Now make us over so young people in the cancer. But I am doing this in Ukraine. I say, you have one bottom for 20 good. Yes, and life. Miss Roma, so much between the three Sunday, ya. Or mother be agitum so be Okita said, my dear. Can for any I get to me, sir, or Oscar. And the South 20 years, the young who's the Kanjaman Montia. No, young far, I am a yapa, Madame Yamisa, me forest and Oma say me bibia. Ghana for any Japa Diana, what's there na fine. Miss Roma.
Me de minias and Biaka, a man, baby, I said it for a model, a bind the idea, Edia. Some dear, made a me baby. And I made a minimum as I didn't ask them the other, a buy, and you swear yafa. And I'm off your moon says, I didn't ask them either. I buy you soon to be fire. No, my jelly, they send me the minute to me, be what I say. When I'm also a man, I buy no hair, the above one or either. Why?
I'm saying, I want to, in fact, I've had about food because I'm saying, say, or young dada. I'm saying, about or blood on from like I'm saying, but they were no council. I said, I'm saying. And then they are buying some of my hand, in fact, a higher papa. The Bias is so to ya, a year for Korea, because Nega me say, that young side of people. Nega me say, no, for Maya, for no answer for Moya, which are money, Macataso. Now, come on, we won't do ya, who would Yaman or Sanamoko. But in fact, John to a higher pound, always an Akotana, you, Akotana, Masu Sakra. You get 20 years, I'm saying, we may a judge, then I judge your penal now, or yet, or yet, 1 year, 20 years, no class one.
It is finished. Nidalaso, Maestro Dababano, Nidalamo. It is finished. Nidalaso, Maestro Dababano, Nidalamo.
United Spirit, both the committee are moving Adam Puya United Spirit. So we are not looking at that, but we are all looking, sir. Justice a bit prevailing. So what you say? So, what we are sentencing to 20. And I make us say, I want to hear from the lawyer, his lawyers. Until after sending lawyers about as a party, we know what we also have to do. So what you say? Because some people were in jail. Some people were in jail, but President Dramani Mahama Bai were pardoned. So what you say? So it will be very, good for John Mahama say, obey my pardon. None anymore you make utano. Now yes, so what you say? Because also we are father for all there. Now we are assemblies in India. Abuphobia bebiano, yemfante, yempadel. But your pardon
Is it going to be settled?
What person would make call now when on embassy? Omo ko dizika ya mpadim. With the men to us in camp first by Sassan, what can we do?
Throughout the trial, and that a person could be convicted and sentenced on sin, then it's really a worrying trend. And what can we do except to consult our clients and fashion out the way forward, and we will certainly come out.
But the charges were brought under the Mining Act, right?
Yes, certainly it was brought under the Mining Act. But the Mining Act doesn't talk of assignment. It talks in terms of assignment. There's specific legislation that regulates the conduct of land transactions. Is the Lands Act of 2020. Yes, Act 1036. It regulates the conduct of land transactions. So if you want to really understand what assignment means as far as land transactions are concerned, then you have to go to the Lands Act. And clearly the Lands Act calls for assignment to be a written instruction. But we did not see it. It says clearly once he has been convicted on assignment without mineral rights authorization, it's clearly mind-boggling, and I am not comfortable with it. So
You describe this as mind-boggling.
Yeah, it's mind-boggling.
To you, it is unfair. But let's talk about the processes of the trial itself. Would you say due process was followed?
I will reserve some for now.
Would you say the judge was fair and firm and just throughout the proceeding?
I wouldn't want to, in the circumstance I find myself now, I don't want to comment on some of the matters, but I believe that as a legal team of Mr. Bedenkibo-Siako will come out with his tax endorsement to speak on some of the matters that have gone on throughout the trial.
And that response points directly or hints directly of an appeal. Is that what I'm sensing?
Well, certainly, once you are aggrieved or dissatisfied by the outcome of the decision of the court, the onus lie on you to file an appeal at the appellate court. Now, from the High Court, you can only go to the Court of Appeal. From the Court of Appeal, if you are still dissatisfied, the rules of courts and the laws of the Republic allows you to go up to the Supreme Court. So we will consult with our clients and take their proceedings and go through and look at the reasoning of the courts and take a position as to the next step that we take in furtherance of ensuring that the liberty of our client, now a convict, is secure.
And
throughout the trial, and that a person could be convicted and sentenced on sin, then it's really a worrying trend.
For Mr. Wontumi in terms of the sentencing. And it is not because it's Mr. Wontumi, it's a very ordinary thing we all do in court, where if you believe that as a friend of the court you need to put in 1 or 2 for an accused person, we do it. And we do it not because we don't believe in the sentencing, we don't believe in the conviction, or we have issues with the conviction. As for the conviction, yes, it was all done, but it was the sentencing. So you remember what I said was that since the court itself has established that Mr. Wontumi is the directing minds for most of his businesses, so it means that if the court keeps him in incarceration for long, his businesses are going to be affected. So the court should consider the fact that he's a businessman and he employs a lot of people directly and indirectly. So it was to the youth unemployment that could come as a result of his being away from his businesses. That was the only thing. I was just appealing to the mind of the judge.
Are you in any way related to Mr. Wontumi?
No, I am not.
Do you have any business dealing with Mr. Wontumi?
My name is Bernard, so probably just by name, but I have no business with him. I had just come to court to listen, but I was just moved.
So this was just an officer of the court doing the job?
It is pure out of courtroom practice, where any person could get up as a friend of the court and put in some words in mitigation for an accused person who has been convicted. So it's not because I have any personal relationship with Sam Wontumi and I'm not his lawyer on record. It was just out of normal court practice I did that.
That so you rose to your feet to try to
appeal to the emotions and the conscience of the judge.
To
just tamper justice with me. So I was hoping for the barest minimum of punishment.
But what do you think? What do you think going forward? Should the lawyers go on appeal on this matter? What would that barest minimum be for you?
What I think don't matter now, because I'm not a lawyer on record for Mr. Wontumi. I only did what a lot of lawyers do in court, that we try to intervene for an accused person who has been convicted. That is what I did.
So what is the barest minimum?
The law. Oh, as to what I expected the court to do, it is by law 15 years. So if the judge had given him the minimum, I would have been happy. But for all those things we had said, maybe he was going to get something. I don't know. I'm not in the mind of the judge. I feel that what we did, myself and the other lawyer, is very ordinary in the ways courts handle matters. So Please let me go.
Thank you so much. So you
I'm so sorry. For Mr. Wontumi in terms of the sentencing. And it is not because it's Mr. Wontumi, it's a very ordinary thing we all do in court, where if you believe that as a friend of the court, you need to put in 1 or 2 for an accused person, we do it. And we do it not because we don't believe in the sentencing, we don't believe in the conviction, or we have issues with the conviction. As for the conviction, yes, it was all done, but it was the sentencing. So you remember what I said was that since the court itself has established that Mr. Wontumi is the directing minds for most of his businesses, so it means that if the court keeps him in incarceration for long, his businesses are going to be affected. So the court should consider the fact that he's a businessman and he employs a lot of people directly and indirectly. So it was to the youth unemployment that could come as a result of his being away from his businesses. That was the only thing. I was just appealing to the mind of the judge.
Are you in any way related to Mr. Wontumi?
No, I am not.
Do you have any business dealing with Mr. Wontumi?
My name is Bernard, so probably just by name, but I have no business with him. I had just come to court to listen, but I was just moved.
So this was just an officer of the court doing the job?
It is pure out of courtroom practice, where any person could get up as a friend of the court and put in some words in mitigation for an accused person who has been convicted. So it's not because I have any personal relationship with Wontumi, and I'm not his lawyer on record. It was just out of normal court practice I did that.
That so you rose to your feet to try to
appeal to the emotions and the conscience of the judge. To just tamper justice with me. So I was hoping for the barest minimum of punishment.
But what do you think? What do you think going forward? Should the lawyers go on appeal on this matter? And what would that barest minimum be for you?
What I think don't matter now, because I'm not a lawyer on record for Mr. Wontumi. I only did what a lot of lawyers do in court, that we try to intervene for an accused person who has been convicted. That is what I did.
So what is the barest minimum you
the law? As to what I expected the court to do, it is by law 15 years. So if the judge had given him the minimum, I would have been happy. But for all those things we had said, maybe he was going to get something. I don't know. I'm not in the mind of the judge. I feel that what we did, myself and the other lawyer, is very ordinary in the ways courts handle matters. So please let me go.
Thank you.
And there they are. The squad is ready, lined up, ice cold, focused and prepared for national duty. Every bottle in position, every label shining with confidence. And here comes the selection. One bottle steps forward, picked from the squad, ready to deliver for Ghana. He takes the first sip. Oh yes, refreshingly hydrating. The whistle goes. The Black Stars are on the move. He breaks through the defense like flowing water. Beautiful control. He lines it up. He strikes. Goal! Ghana is awake. From the fridge to the field, Awake keeps you refreshed. Awake purified drinking water. One for life. Proudly supporting the National Cardiothoracic Center. This advert is FDA approved.
Are you a headmaster, headmistress, parent, teacher, or an educator looking for high-quality textbooks for preschool, primary, and junior high school students? Look no further than Advocate Publishing Company. Advocate Publishing Company is a leading publisher of educational materials in Ghana that publishes very engaging, interactive, and comprehensive textbooks that meet the needs of students, teachers, and parents. Our textbooks are thoroughly published to make learning fun and easy. They are also designed to stimulate critical thinking, problem solving, and creativity in students. Make Advocate Publishing your preferred choice for all your educational needs. Explore our range of textbooks and educational resources. Visit us at the old GNTC yard near Kingsway, Accra. You can contact us on 0503 786 776 or 02408 06354, also 0531 6000360, and connect with us on Instagram, X, and Facebook at Advo Publishing. Don't settle for less. Choose the best. Advocate Publishing Company, empowering young minds one textbook at a time. Think in publishing, think Advocate Publishing.
Hello, my friends. My name is Calkit Toothpaste.
Wow.
I was made to be gentle on your gum, but protected. I will protect your teeth from cavity, make your teeth whiter, stronger, keep your mouth fresh all day. And best of all, I'm strawberry flavored. So put on a smile and try me.
That's amazing.
Just try me. That's my job.
If you say so, jump on my brush. Makes your teeth stronger, chicky whiter, chicky stronger. Yay! You did it!
I'm glad you like your new toothpaste. Don't forget to brush both day and night.
Calkits. Happy smile.
Hello, people of Ghana. Looking to buy land this World Cup season? I'm here to give you 6 solid reasons why Estate Masters is your most trusted estate partner. 1. We are genuine. Here at Estate Masters, every promise is real, every transaction genuine. We don't just sell lands, we sell peace of mind. 2. We are credible. Our credibility is proven. We are who we say we are, respected, recognized, and trusted across Ghana.
We sell litigation-free lands. With us, your land is litigation-free. No disputes, no worries. Just security for you and your family. Free site visits. We bring you to the land at no cost. Free site visit mean you see before you buy with full confidence. Your paperwork is on us. We provide free documentation, ensuring your ownership is clear and protected.
And yes, you enjoy unbeatable discounts when you buy land from Estate Masters to make land ownership even sweeter. So what are you waiting for? Rush now and secure your genuine land with Estate Masters. Estate Masters, your most preferred estate partner.
Every heart burning bright. Oh.
Yes, next. Hey, Nadia Benson, Asamo.
Me didn't tum. Mr. Friendly Calico, just call me cockroach. Now, Mr. Friendly once now.
Hey, that's on you. Improve car. Yeah. Captain was key to double the action.
Me did it, Sasso spray. Mr. Friendly Sasso quell.
Yeah, go to my Sasso. Come on, Tom Preco.
Ghana for the second World Cup running, the only Africans left standing.
What's getting another word? We could take close to 200 doctors. Oh, Piazza Nampi, I challenge you today. We jackpot day. We dare live.
He's in the area. He's scored.
Oh,
It's the Lucky World Cup Sikapuduo promo. Every 11th June, Kosi 31st July 2026. Play and win your share of the 1 million Ghana City jackpot with a minimum stake of just 10 Ghana Cities. 20 lucky customers go win their share of the 20,000 Ghana Cities daily jackpot. Top 10 agents go chop bonus every weekend. Trying to Lucky app, Lucky website. Agent to ana dial *288#. Lucky World Cup Sikapuduo. Kitty one the tickets. Yeah.
Auntie, one man no chopo. Blow bia di opera mame. Nanya nazo na munye. Saga.
Terms and conditions apply. Play responsibly. Not for persons under 18. Licensed and regulated by the NLA.
Lucky. Play small, win big. Abina. Oh, Abina.
Edi asema, menya oden. O tianti mu amanfo ada. O hye me boso beto phone na mame. Me phone na say dada. Menya oden.
Them was surprised man.
Ah, surprise ben.
Surprise.
Hey, Kofi papa. E phone o. iPhone 13. Nanya ne?
Ende, me fankofo bi mienu. Amu ko circle. Ene ba ko ne ka chena dan fa hawa.
or no the Ghana card equal EBA phone so or 40% penny in the phone manual that can be to an kakra Timothy me drop in a miss me call and I'm going to phone the brown.
Oh, coffee papa me da say I'm sure.
Wo EBA phones hadie yet on iPhones ne ho akade nyina ye sanso de ma wholesale so ye dealer na so pedodo atua and na se afi na wo share iPhone business na se a braya se ye hwehwe ye chira kwan e wa Accra Circle Mall any tiptoe lane modern photos in chain American Monso ye ni odor rice ene di nhwenim Kumase ye wedum ejekuma brunsan nim obetumi so hu ye e wo www.ebaphones.com EBA phones no hassle cry.
This is the old way. Let me show you a new and a better way. EduPack.
EduPack?
Yes, EduPack. A GS approved and supported initiative for all first year students going to SHS by Prospectus Ghana Limited. Now you don't need to go to the market. All your trunks, mattresses, pillows, including plastic chalkboards, are all waiting for your child at the school. Note, all our wooden chalkboards are being changed to plastic ones to avoid bedbugs.
You can also register by dialing *713*821# following the prompts, or you can visit www.edupackgh.com and tap register. You can also register at any ADB branch near you at a very affordable price. EduPack, approved and supported by GEF.
If you're watching Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television, the show is also live on 94.1 FM, and my guests are already seated. We'll kickstart with our conversation today. It's already 25 minutes past 8. And as you do know, your guess is as good as mine. It's the biggest story that's been making the rounds tonight. It has to do with the NPP's Ashanti Regional Minister. Ashanti Regional Chairman, And also, he owns a mining company called Akunta Mining. Yesterday, a court of competent jurisdiction and delivered a judgment, and that judgment has been subject to all kinds of interpretations and reactions and so on. The NPP itself held a news conference and said it did disagree with the ruling or the decision by the courts, and they say that Wontumi, as far as they're concerned, is a political prisoner. We've also heard his lawyers say that what happened yesterday was a travesty of justice, and that justice was not allowed to prevail, justice was not delivered. They think that Wontumi is only a victim of some kind of political persecution. That's how some of his lawyers and some of the party folks have described what happened yesterday. Now, none of us here is a lawyer. I mean, well, I'm talking about myself and my production team. None of us are lawyers. We are mere mortals. We are laymen. Well, we're lucky to have two gentlemen who are all lawyers. And please bear with us. Some of the technical terms they would use, we'll try as much as possible to get them to break it down for us to understand exactly what happened in court yesterday. Now, for the NPP, it's understandable. This is the boss of the party in the Ashanti region. Ashanti region is the political basket of the New Patriotic Party. That's their World Bank. And so if their chairman has been incarcerated, it is a big deal for the party. And so you would then not be surprised at all that a news conference was hurriedly arranged. Must have been like a year, or must have been an hour and a half later after the judgment was delivered. And you could tell the body language of the persons who were there. They were sad, they were in a somber mood. And they're saying that there are a number of a series of actions that the party intends to take in order to get justice for Chairman Wontumi. So, fortunately, must have been late last night. I got a copy of the judgment. It must have been around 10 or so. I've been trying to read it, but the technical languages and legal jargons are unbelievable. But of course, there are some portions of it that are very easy to understand, and so I've been trying to read it and to try and apprise myself with what exactly happened in court. So it's about 60 pages. That's what I'm talking about. What I have here, about 59 pages. Yes, that's what I have here. And so we'll look into that matter. So joining me this morning is Hamza Suini, is a private legal practitioner and also a member of the NDC's communications team. Hamza, good morning. It's good to see you. How are you? Assalamu alaikum, my brother. Long time. I hope family, everybody fine. Wonderful. Awesome. Also joining me is a very good friend of mine, Bernard Oredu Esquire. Obviously, Esquire means he's also a lawyer and also the MP. He's a member of the MPP's legal team. He's also joined us. Good morning, my brother. Long time. How are you?
I've been good.
You dog me small, but nothing small.
I wouldn't do that.
Nothing small. You've been busy making money in court.
You know, these days, my good friend and his party,
yes,
has put some fear in us. You speak and you are jailed for 1 year. So we've been careful.
But you have been speaking, nobody else.
But some have spoken in some for 1 year.
That means they've done something that the state believes.
But for that, we are good.
You've been talking for a while now.
Yes, I've been talking.
That was a master stroke.
Some have been talking, and yet, they are not like where.
What we should rather be asking ourselves is that what is it that they are saying, and is it good or bad?
Them there.
That's
another topic for discussion.
It's not
another topic for discussion.
Political parties, and that's one of the things that some people have a challenge with Hamza, because you see, Hamza's philosophy is let's speak truth to power. Whether in PQ or DC,
all the time.
Yeah, I mean, people have disagreed with him. He doesn't have any regrets with that. It's based on his conviction. If he's convinced it's bad, nothing will stop him. If it's wrong, if it's right, it is right. And I like him for that. It's not everybody who likes me. He's fine with that.
Well, I like him.
If you don't like the truth, you don't like me. I'm fine. It's okay. That's your matter. It's not my matter. But I'm saying that political parties must begin to call their own people out when they're doing the wrong things.
Definitely.
Whether in DC or NPP.
Definitely.
It makes you more attractive.
Definitely. It's
something where we defend everything.
Well, sometimes it's not about defending everything. Sometimes it's about the standard to which we hold people to different. You see, sometimes you need to have a standard that cuts across. But if it happens that it looks selective, then that is when people come in and criticize. But all the same, I believe that you can communicate, you can send out whatever you want to without all those harsh words and insults and all that.
Yes.
So,
because you are not like that.
I can't.
You've been on my show when I was doing it was Inside Pages several times.
I can't do that.
Just like Hamza, a very, very decent communicator. Why can't others do the same? Just yesterday I saw another video. Despicable.
Unfortunately, in our country, vulgar
the kinds of things this person was saying about the president.
Political space. I think that people have come to accept that. The only way to make it and to become popular.
Charlie.
All kinds of unprintable language, vitriol in terms of political commentary. And I think that is where the problem is.
It should not be encouraged.
That is where the problem is. And we shouldn't encourage it. If the masses are encouraging it, we must ensure that the laws are used to keep all of us in check. After all, that's the essence of the law.
Charlie. Anyway, so gentlemen, that's not our main topic for today. We all know what the issue is. The big issue is. It's about Chema Wontumi. Obviously, he's in trouble. He's in Sawam now as we speak. Now, let me read how the Daily Graphic has actually reported this, not interpreted, has reported this. It's a newspaper review, so I'll carry it from this paper, and then I'll get your thoughts on this. And I'll start with you, because this is your big day. It's a big day. It's a big day. And I told you why it's a big deal. You know what I mean? So Justice Agbenosi and Jocelyn Kafu-Inyaji, who are reporting from the court, reported from the court yesterday with the Daily Graphic, said that the High Court yesterday sentenced the Ashanti Regional Chairman of the New Patriotic Party, Bernard Ntribwesiak, also known as Chairman Wontumi, to a 20-year jail term for mineral rights granted. Okay, so Daily Graphic, something is wrong here. Mineral rights granted his company, Akunta Mining Limited, to two persons. Okay, so assigning mineral rights granted to his company, Akunta Mining Limited, to two persons, Michael Jedu, AEC, and Henry Okum. And continues to say that without obtaining approval from the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources. Now, in a verdict that could truncate his ambitious campaign for the national chairmanship of the NPP, he was also handed another 20-year jail term on the charge of purposely facilitating an unlicensed mining operations on the Samreboy concession in contravention of Section 992B of the Minerals and Mining Act 2006 at 703 as amended by Section 3 of the Minerals and Mining Amendment Act 2019, Act 995. Now, the high-profile case had attracted wide media coverage during the over 20-month trial. In addition to the custodial sentence, Chairman Wontumi was fined 120,000 cedis for each offence. In default of the fine, he will serve an additional 3 years in prison. The sentences are to run concurrently, including the fine. As a result, he will serve 20 years behind bars. Akonta Mining Limited is to pay a fine of 180,000 on each count for assignment of mining rights without ministerial approval and purposely facilitating a licensed mining operation in contravention of Section 992B of the Minerals and Mining Act 2006 at 703 as amended by Section 3 of the Minerals and Mining Amendment Act 2019 at 995. You see what I was saying? These lawyers. Meanwhile, Kwame Entry, a director of the company who was slapped with 2 counts of assigning mineral rights without a sector minister's approval and purposely facilitating a licensed mining operation on the Samre Boy concession, is still on the run. Justice Audrey
Okuvite.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's a Kokuvite. Okay, handed down the sentence after analyzing the facts presented by both the prosecution led by Deputy Attorney General Dr. Justice Shremsai and the then defense lawyer Andiabia Kubi at trial. Now, relying on circumstantial evidence, the presiding judge, before drawing her conclusions, resolved issues on the exclusivity of the minerals rights relationship between Chairman Wontumi, the sole shareholder, and the director of Akonta Mining, whether the company had an operating board, executive management separate from Chairman Wontumi to determine if he was the true de facto holder of the Minerals Act, or the minerals rights, As regards the issue of facilitation of unlicensed mining, the court analyzed whether Chairman Wontumi and Akonta Mining permitted Okum and AC to conduct mining without a registered license under Act 703, among others. Now, to establish the exclusivity of the mining mineral license, the court analyzed the lease agreement granted to Akonta Mining, where portions of the lease agreement confirmed same, to resolve the issue of whether the transfer of minerals rights constituted an assignment. That's the bone of contention, really, and I'm sure the lawyers would debate that. The court, among others, relied on the testimony of Okum. Okay? The second prosecution witness in the case, Chairman Wontumi, had admitted that although he permitted Okum to enter Akonta Minerals concession, it was meant for land reclamation by planting coconut trees and not for mining. The court held that arrangement for the land reclamation was not documented and there was no witness to the transaction. As a result, the court relied on the dictates of Duya versus the Republic, a landmark Ghanaian criminal case that established crucial legal proceedings regarding circumstantial evidence to make inferences from the available fact. Okay, I can go on and on and on and on. Now, first of all, before we look into the cracks of the matter, would you say that I was right when I said this is such a big deal for the NPP because of the person at the center of this whole trial and subsequent conviction? Yeah, I'm talking about Chairman Wontumi. How big a deal is this before we even look at the substance of the case?
Yeah, Moro, let me say good morning to you. Okay. And good morning to Hamza, my good friend. And good morning to all NPP party people. And indeed, it's a big deal for us.
Okay.
Mr. Wontumi is a big person when it comes to NPP politics. I think for 3 consecutive terms, he's been the chairman of the Ashanti region. And this is a man who has been very conspicuous in terms of NPP politics. His radio stations, his media group provides huge platform for the party. From his TV stations to radio stations, he supports the party very well. So yes, it's a big deal for the party. He has also declared his bid to contest for the national chairmanship of our party. So Mr. Wontumi is a big figure when it comes to the affairs of the NPP. And he's been a financial pillar as well. I mean, he's been the mainstay in terms of financing in the Ashanti region and to the large extent, the entire NPP. So we are worried. It is the reason the national executives, led by the General Secretary, had to quickly mobilize and do a presser yesterday. And as a party, we want to assure the family of Mr. Wontumi that we are with him. We've been with him throughout, and we are going to be with him till he comes out, which we believe will be very, very soon. I mean, he isn't going to be in jail for long because we have analyzed the facts of the case, which you said we'll go to. But we are giving the assurance to the family and all the friends and sympathizers of Mr. Wontumi that the party is solidly behind him. all of us are sympathizing and empathizing with the family, and we are going to make sure that he's not alone in this.
Do you have any idea why, looking at the stature of Wontumi, and you've given us reasons why he's such a significant figure within the MPP, do you have any idea why the kind of solidarity that ordinarily you'd expect party people to render or to give to such a big fish, for want of, and I'm using that word loosely, such a big and important personality in your party, we didn't see that kind of solidarity yesterday? Unless, of course, because the only person I saw was Pangri Bwachidamkwa, who used to be the government spokesperson on, I think, security.
Oh, the party has been supporting Mr. Wontumi
governance
in a lot of ways. Okay. If you didn't see a lot of people, I was in court yesterday. I wasn't in court because I was Mr. Wontumi's lawyer or was part of his legal counsel. I was in court because I'm a member of the legal directorate, and I was there to observe proceedings and see what happens and probably report back to the head of the directorate. So a lot of people were there in different capacities. So at a point, I had to even come in as a friend of the court to make submissions before the court. And I did that because...
As the lawyers would say, amicus curiae.
Amicus curiae. So yes, I don't know if you saw my interview and all that.
Yes.
I was there in my capacity as a member of the directorate who was supposed to report to the head. So we were there in different capacities. That is why at a point in time, I had to get up on my feet to inform the judge that if I may be heard as a friend of the court, which the judge allowed. So yes, you may not have seen some figures and all that, but a lot of us were there in different capacities. And even before court, people had called him, a lot of our big people had called him and all that. So we've been giving him the support, we've been giving him the solidarity, but court attendance, especially a weekday like Monday, may clash with a lot of activities. We are also trying to go through our regional elections as well. So big figures of the party have also been busy with all those arrangements and all that. But as for solidarity and support, we've shown it massively to Mr. Wontumi. And we were there in different capacity. Like I said, the legal directorate is sort of a branch of the party. And I was there under the auspices of the legal directorate. So yes, we've shown him a lot of support.
Don't you think that the optics would have been sweeter, would have been better if, for instance, your General Secretary was there, if Chairman Bute, who was your acting national chairman, was there, if Irina Naboachi, who was a national organizer, was there? Yes, indeed, it's a private matter, but of course it has political connotations.
Definitely.
So if these persons were there to show him some love, as we say, as we see it in our local parlance, it would have been better.
Well, I don't know how the communication went as between his lawyers and the party leadership. Probably, I don't know whether the party leadership was informed that yesterday was going to be the judgment date, because you remember his lawyer himself was not in court and had sent some letter to have the matter adjourned. I don't know if probably that communication went to party leadership. But Mr. Wontumi as a man, like they say in Alang, 1 man 1,000. Probably he may have declined getting party people to, because if that was necessary, as Mr. Wontumi would have desired, trust me, the place would have been loaded. But I'm sure probably the communication, and Mr. Wontumi being the man I know, probably may have intervened and says, let me go alone and all that. But as for party solidarity, Moro, trust me, he's been getting it.
In what form and shape?
Oh, like I said to you, I was in court. Yes.
Okay.
And I know what goes. We can't say everything on air. But I know the party is fully behind. It is the reason why, just about 30 minutes after the delivery of the judgment, the party could organize a press conference, because we are abreast with the facts of the case. Because as at the time the judgment was delivered, between the presser, if the party was not abreast with the case, we couldn't have come out with such informed position in terms of the judgment. So the party has always been on the matter. We've been on course with him, and we are supporting him throughout. It is, Mr. Wontumi, you are not alone. We appreciate what you do for the party, and all of us here, from the legal directorate through to our flag bearer, we are with you. You are not in this alone. And we will make sure that everything possible legally, we will resort to get you back home.
As for and I'm going to end this because I don't want us to litigate over this matter or to drag it, but as for the possibility or the plausibility that Wontumi may have told the party people to stay off, the party bigwigs. I mean, you're important, but you're not.
No, of course, I'm not like Hamza, who is a big man.
You're not like Hamza, who's a big man.
I'm a social democrat. He's a very big man.
For where?
He's a very big man.
So I'm saying that as for I mean, as for the possibility that, or the probability that Wontumi may have told the party national officers to stay off.
No, it's something I
That's what I'm saying,
probably,
the possibility.
yes,
Maybe.
yes.
And I'm saying that is not likely. You know why? Because it is the same figures who held the press conference right after the pronouncements of his judgment. So that would then have not been consistent with Wontumi's wish, which is for the party to stay off and not be.
No, that even supports the fact that they may, because you couldn't have gotten all those guys within 30 minutes after the judgment. It means probably they were at the party office. Like I said, we are preparing for our regional elections. Okay. So probably they've been busy with all those stuff and all that. Because to get all these people, including the minority leader himself, within that short time, it meant that they were together already. Okay. So yes, for me, I believe that it is not just about showing up in court. We've been with Mr. Wontumi throughout, and even after his incarceration, we are with him. Yes, so as for that one, trust me.
Okay.
The party has done a lot in terms of that.
Okay. All right. I'm just asking questions. That's all.
Sure. It's good to even ask such questions so that we give the assurances to the party people that the party is behind Mr. Wontumi.
He's not been neglected.
No, he hasn't been neglected at all.
Yeah. All right. So you have described yesterday's decision by the court, and you lawyers have always advised us journalists use the word decision, whether that means a ruling, because apparently it's a ruling and a judgment are not even the same.
Yes, so now you can use judgment. But decision cuts across,
so just to be on the safer side, just use decision. So you have described yesterday's decision by the courts in different ways. Some of your colleagues have described it as a travesty of justice, which is to say that justice does not prevail. You've also said that as for the party position, you're saying that Wontumi is a political prisoner. That's the term which has been used to describe him now. Now, help us appreciate, for especially people who have not been following this case from the beginning, okay? And I'm not assuming that you did follow from the beginning, but of course, I mean, as a lawyer, it's easier for you to pick up the information and help us appreciate this much better than those of us who are not in that practice or that space. What, to the best of your knowledge, do you know about this Wontumi case? What was the case about?
All right.
For people who may not have followed it, to try and understand in very simple and very basic terms, what was the case about?
Well, I'll make it even very simple. But first and foremost, I associate myself with the statement by a party that it is political witch hunting. And I'll add that for me, I think that his conviction, I sat in the courtroom and listened to the judgment, and I feel that the judgment fell short of the standard required of criminal prosecution, which is proved beyond reasonable doubt. It was more of preponderance of probability. So for me, that is what I would say. But what is the case all about? So Wontumi has not been charged with illegal mining. No. He's been charged for assigning mineral rights without approval and facilitating unlicensed mining operations. So nobody should get it wrong that Mr. Wontumi has been charged for galamsey or something. He was in court. Unlicensed mining operations.
So what is
facilitating, not he himself. Facilitating. What is let me finish when you can come in. Okay. Facilitating an unlicensed mining operations. So this is Mr. Wontumi Akonta's mining. It is not even his person. We will come there. The person of the corporate bill. We will come there. Akonta Mining Limited was granted license some years ago.
2021.
Then, after their operations, they just let in another person to reclaim the land. Reclamation is different from mining. Okay. Then, these people, these third parties, because I don't have their permission to mention their names, so let me just say, Mr. Wontumi is granted license. Then the states found a third party on the area of the concession.
Well, their names are out there, so you're free to mention them. In fact, when I was reading the story in the Daily Graphic, I mentioned their names.
They mentioned their names.
Yes,
the Jedu and the Isima.
Yes.
So you for education purposes and to shield your station from any legal issues. So let me just lump them together and call them third parties. So Mr. Wontumi has a concession license, Akonta Mining, has a concession license. Then the state found third parties engaging in certain activities on the land, on the concession. Then they were arrested. Definitely they would mention Akonta Mining, and Akonta Mining will bring in Mr. Wontumi. So why are you on this particular concession that we know belongs to Akonta Mining? Then Mr. Wontumi's answer is, I have allowed them there to reclaim the land. This is what Mr. Wontumi said. I have allowed them there to reclaim the land. So let's make it straightforward. It was not as if it was Mr. Wontumi and his workmen who were arrested on the land, about 29 of them. They were workmen of third parties. This is the first thing. Let's establish it. Then the state says that they believe the accounts of third parties rather than Mr. Wontumi. When we say assignment, Hamza is here. You give a land to Hamza. Let's make it simple. Hamza wants to give it to me. So what Hamza is doing is assigning his interest that you've given him to me. Usually, it is documented because it is a matter concerning land. So the proper thing usually we do is that we document that Hamza is assigning the interest you've given him to me, which is on paper. Then Mr. Wontumi said, to even believe me that I did not intend to assign the mineral rights, there is no documentary proof of it. If I really intended to do that at Akonta Mining, I would have put it in writing, which is the normal way of assignment, because it involves the land. And the law requires that. Even if you want to do any transaction in connection with the land, the conveyancing decree, it should be in writing. Nothing like that is there. So it supports Wontumi's position that, it was just allowing them to reclaim the land, build, plant coconuts and all that. This is Mr. Wontumi's word. Then the people said, they had discussed issues of mining with Mr. Wontumi. So now it becomes their word against Mr. Wontumi's word. But what this judgment has done is to believe their word against Mr. Wontumi's word. That is what this judgment has done. The person who owns the mineral rights says that I only allow these third parties in to reclaim the land for me, and even suggested that planting of coconut would be very ideal considering the area. These third parties people that the state has used, remember, it is Mr. Wontumi's third parties who are now prosecution witnesses for the state. It is the reason some of us feel that the state has given Mr. Wontumi a very raw deal. I allow certain persons to go onto my concession with specific instructions that this is what you have to do on my concession. Now you go find them doing other things. Even in the law of agency, they have gone outside the ambit of the directions I gave them. Then you believe them that it is not just reclamation they agreed with me, but I also allowed them to mine. Why would you believe their word against my word? And rather, instead of, so if you find people mining in an area and they tell you that this person allowed them to do it, I know it's even going to charge them with illegal mining. The state leaves them and rather uses them as prosecution witnesses against Mr. Wontumi. Do you think this is fair? And the court believes their word as against Mr. Wontumi's word. And Mr. Wontumi's lawyer was saying, like, listen, if the intended purpose of allowing these third parties to be on the land was to assign my mineral rights to them, it would have been in writing, because that is the obvious and the proper thing to do. But because the intendment was just to reclaim, that is why you don't see any documentary proof.
You've made that point already.
Yes. Then the judge says that, yes, there is no documentary proof, but you shall rely on what we call circumstantial evidence. You see, you rely on circumstantial evidence when you don't have documentary proof. But this is the catch. Circumstantial evidence, if you want to rely on, should lead to only one irrebuttable conclusion. The moment you decide to rely on circumstantial evidence, it should lead to one conclusion and nothing else. So Mr. Wontumi says that I allowed them onto my concession to reclaim. The people say that, it was beyond reclamation. So whose word do you believe? You look at the circumstances. Okay. How do you come to the conclusion that, how do you come to the decision that the only conclusion in this set of facts will be to believe the prosecution witness, the third parties, and not Mr. Wontumi's account. When you establish that, all the 29 people you arrested that day, the 29 or so people for the third parties, they were not workmen of Mr. Wontumi. None of them have come to say that they were workmen of Mr. Wontumi. The only thing the judge referred to that when you go to the concession site, there's a banner or there's a sticker that says that this is Akonta mining site. But the workmen that they arrested, none has come to say that they are employees of Akonta mining. The 25 excavators that were captured, have they linked any of them to Mr. Wontumi? So it is very, it is mind-boggling to understand that without documentary proof that indeed some mineral rights have been assigned to third parties, the judge will rely on their word and come to this conclusion and say that I relied on circumstantial evidence. That is why I feel that the judgment falls short of the standard of proof in criminal proceedings, which is proof beyond reasonable doubt. I don't believe here. I don't believe as I sit here. And trust me, it is not as if the MPP is against the fight against illegal mining. Why? Are we not the one who brought up the 703 that has put Mr. Wontumi behind bars right now? No, the MPP as a party is not. But we are saying what happened in courts. Indeed, it's a travesty of justice. Because this is somebody who didn't even have proof that I am assigning my mineral rights to him. It is his word against my word. When they arrested his workers, none of them have said that they are workers of Akonta mining. None of them even said the machinery that were seized, have they linked any of them to Akonta mining? No. So how do you come to the conclusion that you believe that Mr. Wontumi assigned the mineral rights for these third parties to mine on the land? It beats imagination. Okay. That is why some of us are saying that, you know what? Let's take a look at this judgment again. It is just political victimization. Other than that, even for worst case scenarios, the third parties that I say they were under my instructions to reclaim and have gone beyond that and are doing mining, are they also not doing illegal mining? So if Hamza gives me specific instructions as his agents, that's go and do A, B, and C. There are specific remedies to that. Okay. If I go beyond that, I have gone beyond the power of his principal as his directions as the principal. That is the case. So what is happening to those people as well? But comfortably, I don't know if they were forced or influenced, they said they would testify against Mr. Wontumi. Such a person who is fighting for his life, do you think he will say anything in truth as to the real happenings between himself and Mr. Wontumi? Because he's fighting for his dear life. Because if he doesn't, he may also be charged for illegal mining. So it is even wrong for the state to have relied on these people who were part of the transactions as their witnesses in court. Who will not do this in court? Who will not do this? That Mr. Wontumi has given you this to go and reclaim. You went beyond his instructions and did mining. You've been arrested. And now, instead of apologizing to Mr. Wontumi or Akonta mining who gave you the permission to go, you have been used as the state to prosecute him. Is this fair? Is this fair? Okay. So we are saying that, listen, as a party, we are not against the fight against illegal mining. Okay. But this particular happening and sentencing of Mr. Wontumi is indeed a raw deal. Okay.
I have some questions for you, but I also noticed that Hamza has been sitting here for a while. He said nothing.
Let me drink water.
Yes, please do. You need it. I wanted us to stay a bit more on the circumstantial evidence and to ask a few questions. But Hamza, let me also get your preliminary thoughts on this matter, and I have my own questions to ask when you're done.
Moro, first of all, the decision that emanated from the High Court yesterday is one that I'd say with all certainty more or less reflects standard judgments as far as our law courts are concerned. The decision undoubtedly painful, but necessary. Why do I say undoubtedly painful, but necessary? You see, we are in a democratic dispensation. And this is a country that is governed by rules and regulations and laws. And we have come to accept as a people that sometimes even in carrying out these rules and regulations or forcing compliance as far as these laws are concerned would necessarily mean that some individuals would have their freedoms curtailed. And I know my brother Bernard agrees. It is not a palatable decision for any government to have its citizen sent to prison. That is the stark reality.
Right.
So even the National Democratic Congress government that is in force today understands this particular reality when it comes to enforcement as far as our laws are concerned. No president, no executive takes delight in sending its citizens to prison. And that is why I'm saying that it can be painful. But the necessity of law and compliance requires that for us to have a working society, many of these painful decisions ought to be taken. And so this is not a decision that the NDC is celebrating. This is not a decision that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and the entire government are excited about. Because whichever way you turn the matter, Wontumi is a citizen of the Republic of Ghana, and His Excellency the President and the government would be pained that a citizen of Ghana would have to engage in acts that we consider unpalatable to finally end up in prison. It is not the desire of this government to have our citizens thrown in jail. Absolutely no. But you cannot also run a working democracy and protect the sanctity of our state without taking these painful decisions. And that is the reason why this is not a celebratory decision for many of us in the NDC. Having said that, let me also make the point that my brother made a point, Chairman Wontumi is a financier of the New Patriotic Party, and for that matter, the NPP was concerned about him and blah, blah, fair. But Moro, I have said on countless occasions that as political players and actors, we must begin to fish out those who jump into the fray of politics as a ruse to continue to pursue criminal conduct or activities, so that it becomes a shield when laws are used to go after them. Simply because they are political actors, our hands become tied. And when decisions emanate from our lawful authorities, we sit on platforms of this nature and seek to politicize it. When in the first place, the motivation for many of them jumping into politics is not rooted in sincerity or desire to contribute meaningfully to national development, but simply to use it as a caveat to continue to commit crimes in the name of politics. And for me, you cannot deal decisively with this Wontumi issue without ugly reality of people beginning to use politics as a way to insulate themselves from accountability. And so as a nation, and I know my brother Bernard agrees, that there's a need for us to have that discussion. And that is the reason why I was disappointed in the statement of the NPP. And Moro, have you read the statement, the issue?
I have it here.
The NPP raised three fundamental issues. And before going to the substance of what my brother said this morning.
Beyond that, the minorities also issued a statement.
Yes. That is what I'm saying. I think I'm even referring to the minority statement from Parliament.
Yes.
They raised three fundamental issues. And Bernard, this is critical. Before I even respond to the substance of your claims this morning. Three important issues. One was the fact that Wontumi had been denied legal representation. The politics of the matter. That is clearly false. That is a lie and an insult to our laws and to the judiciary of this country, and most importantly, to the very constitution we pretend to be upholding. And I'll demonstrate why. We're all in this country. When Andy Appiah Kubi started representing Wontumi in court, we followed the matter to a stage where we were told that judgment had been fixed for the 3rd of July 2026. After the judgment date was announced, for some strange reason, Andy Appiah Kubi decided to refrain from acting as legal counsel for Mr. Wontumi. We are practitioners. We know how these antics are used. And I know Bernard will not disagree with me. What did the judge do? The judge decided not to give judgment on the earlier announced date of 3rd July and allowed Mr. Wontumi to replace his counsel. And that was how Atachia came into the picture. And that's why the judgment was not delivered on the 3rd of July. So it is inaccurate for you to argue, especially the NPP's minority, that there was denial of counsel in relation to the judgment. And moreover, that is not all. Even after Atachia was introduced as counsel, written submissions were made on behalf of Wontumi. It was part of those written submissions that Atachia first raised the issue of possible interpretation of Section 10 has filed a motion on notice, affidavit in support, and written submissions. The judge was not under any obligation to hear him orally on the said matter. Indeed, the Supreme Court, when they were in power, I think a practice direction was issued. And this is very important. Moro, the practice direction was issued. Practice direction, effective case completion planning strategy, 2019. Supreme Court of Ghana Law Report 442. And paragraph 15 of the practice direction, listen to this. Applications in pending cases must be dealt with swiftly to free up the court's time for trial. Accordingly, I think the two is important. Oral legal submissions in the hearing of an application in a pending case shall not be entertained. Oral. Instead, the court shall, in such circumstances, grant leave to all parties to file their written legal submissions within 2 weeks from the date of the hearing of the application and adjourn the application for ruling within 1 week after the expiration of the 2-week deadline. This is a practice direction. So, Atachia subsequently writing to the judge, referencing the fact that he had a motion before him for referral, for possible referral, and the fact that he was not in the country was immaterial as far as the date of judgment was concerned. Because even if Atachia was in court, per this practice direction, the judge was under no obligation to hear him orally speak to the motion. This is a practice direction we presided over.
So you're suggesting that his absence
was immaterial.
To the delivery of the judgment.
Judgment was immaterial because he knew that the judgment date had been set,
right,
and his motions were before the judge, and the judge would dispense with those motions and proceed to deliver judgment.
Right.
So even if he was in court, he wouldn't have been called upon to make submissions on this particular matter. And that point needs to be made. So it is not true that Wontumi was not legally represented. That is a lie. And the likes of Apenyo Markin must take this country serious. Because he is a lawyer and a senior lawyer at that. He ought to know better. You just don't throw out such lies because you want to impugn the integrity of our judiciary simply because you are not in power today. The very judiciary you used to run to on daily basis, in fact, on hourly basis when you were in power. That level of hypocrisy must be stopped. So, Moro, first, it is not true that he was denied right to legal counsel. Indeed, my brother will tell you that there were junior lawyers in his law chambers who represented him in court. And it is allowed, especially at the High Court. It is allowed. So indeed, his lawyers were in court yesterday. Now they also make the point that, references should be made to that of the Chachuchikata matter. And that if we said that Chachuchikata's incarceration was wrong in law, then what we have done because of the so-called denial of right, as far as the judgment is concerned, also appears to be like that of the Chachuchikata matter. That's another lie. And you see, interestingly, in the case of Chachuchikata went to court without even the faintest idea that that day was for judgment. Indeed, he had walked to court without his counsel to get an adjournment date because his counsel was out of the country. When he was forced into the witness box for judgment to be delivered.
Right.
Because the judge had said that she was tired of the adjournments. And the MPP agrees, even in their statement. You see that level of insincerity, Moro. Listen to them. They say, this nation has been here. No, we do not resolve today whether every parallel between that case and this one is exact. That's the MPP in their statement. The facts of each differ, and it is not our role to relitigate history. This is what they have said in the statement. They agree that the facts differ, and it is not exact. But yet still, because it is their stock in trade, they wanted to confuse all of us. What did they say before even that admission? They said that what makes this history impossible to wave away is what ultimately happened to Mr. Chachuchikata. The court held that the trial judge's own conduct of the proceedings, including delivering judgment while an appeal related to a pending Supreme Court question, remained unresolved, and doing so without proper notice to the defense had occasioned what the court itself called a miscarriage of justice. Do we have an appeal pending in this case? So how do you bring the cases together? And you seek to use the Chachuchikata matter and experience to put up a defense for Chairman Wontumi. Now, there's also an issue of referral. And they have made the point that, to the extent that there was an issue of interpretation, the judge ought to have referred the matter to the Supreme Court. And that was what they expected. And they referenced the case of ex parte Zanito. True. Before ex parte Zanito, Republic versus Mekankan, right? And Mekankan said the principle that judges should resist the temptation to refer any other matter simply because parties are alleging an issue of interpretation. The judges themselves were seized with the opportunity at the lower courts to apply the law, interpret and apply. Now, even before ex parte Zeneca, the likes of the Republic versus, the Electoral Commission also, ex parte, Metro Nuno and Co., the case they presented, the Supreme Court had indicated that indeed, because of the purposive nature of interpretation, the time has come for judges to be more willing to refer such cases to the Supreme Court for interpretation, because that is the exclusive reserve of the Supreme Court. Ex parte Zeneto more or less reaffirmed that position in the Metro Nuno cases, but the misconception and misinterpretation of ex parte Zeneto in this case is what is mind-boggling. It did not say that judges should refer any matter of interpretation on their decks simply because an issue of interpretation has been raised by one party to the Supreme Court. It only encouraged judges to be more willing to refer, but was also quick to add that it is within the responsibility of judges to also apply the law as they understand it. So what the judge has done in this particular instance is not in any way a contradiction as far as ex parte Zeneto is concerned. It is clearly in sync with that principle. And that is why, if they are not comfortable with that ruling or decision in relation to the issue of referral, the avenues are not closed on them. They can still appeal And mind you, I think in the case of Republic and Dexter, the Court of Appeal also held, the Supreme Court held that indeed, even on appeal, you can raise an issue of interpretation for the first time. So even if they did not have the opportunity to have it decided, Republic versus Dexter is a classical case that they can rely on, even on appeal, to raise an issue of interpretation. So no door is closed on them. And that is why I'm telling you that this is a meticulous judgment. Unless, of course, you want to do politics with the judgment. That is the only place that you have a problem. And so from where I sit, the judge crossed all the T's and dotted all the I's as far as this decision is concerned. And she needs to be commended. Now, Bernard, there is also an interesting perspective. When I read the NPP's, the minorities presser, about the issue of corporate veil, and I think you subtly referenced
No, I said I was going to go there.
Yes, you subtly reference it. And you see, even if Akonta Mining was engaged in illegal mining, Akonta Mining has a separate legal personality. And so Wontumi should not be the one suffering from the sins of Akonta Mining, even though he's a director of Akonta Mining. Is that what they taught us in law school?
Have you read it?
No. I'm coming. Is that what they taught us in law school? Bernard. Their own celebrated Chief Justice, retired, Sofaji Akufo, in the case of Moko Nkrumah. An excellent judgment. I refer you to that case. Just go and read. The circumstances under which the corporate veil will be lifted to go after directors and owners of a company. One, when there's a breach of the company's code, it can be lifted. Two, any other legislation in Ghana, criminal in nature, you can lift it to go after the owners. And thirdly, the court, if they believe that the company is acting as an alter ego of an individual, they can lift the corporate veil and go after the owner of the company. And that is what the judge did in this matter, which is supported by our law and cases. So if the company is if the judge is of the view that Akonta Mining was simply an alter ego of Chairman Wontumi, and based on the submissions before the judge, it is not difficult for you to reach that conclusion. How did Akonta Mining give contract to the so-called third parties to reclaim? When they admitted, when Wontumi himself admitted that he was the one who gave them the permission to reclaim. Why? Was Wontumi the general manager of Akonta Mining? The general manager of Akonta Mining himself was before the law courts and testified against Chairman Wontumi. Moreover, so if the evidence can be so compelling, then no judge would disregard the admonition as stated in Moko Nkrumah. Moko versus Kuma. That it should be Moko Nkrumah. Where Justice Sophia Akufo, DSC as she then was, indicated that indeed you can leave the corporate veil and go after owners of the company. That is what happened in this case, my brother, Bernard. And you know this as a lawyer. This is basic. Why the politics? You see, if we feel that this is not appropriate, this is unlawful, like I always say, the appeal processes are open. He has 90 days to file his appeal. Nobody, and this one is as of right. I hope I'm right.
Exactly.
It's as of right. What's the name?
As of right.
As of right.
No leave.
No leave is required. So he can actually appeal. Let us go through the appeal process. But more, I've read the judgment. Not all, I must admit. But I can tell you that that judgment would be very difficult to overturn, even on appeal.
Oh, really?
Very, extremely, next to impossible. Unless, of course, you want to play politics with the judgment. Regardless of the emotional attachments and sympathies we have for Chairman Wontumi, because he's a colleague, as far as the political space is concerned. But the law, they say, is the law. If you read that judgment, it is going to be extremely difficult. Even you, listening to my brother today about the claim that, he gave them permission to go and reclaim. And so if they were doing illegal mining, it had nothing to do with him.
Should that not be the case?
No, please, let's be patient. I was patient. He did not know that they were doing illegal mining. Really? And you believe that story?
The court couldn't prove that.
Please. You see, that's the point. The court is not the responsibility of the court to prove allegations. It is the responsibility of the prosecution to prove allegations. The court only takes a decision based on evidence before it. And to the extent that the prosecution was able to demonstrate that indeed these people were engaged in illegal mining with the express authority of Chairman Wontumi, to the extent that his defense could not counter that. It's not anybody's fault. It's not the court's fault.
He raises the issue about their claim as against Chairman Wontumi's claim, and why the courts decided to take their claim as basis.
But when we appear before
drawing the conclusion that he was involved.
Moro, when we appear before courts, Party A has his claims.
Yes.
Party B will also have his claims. It is the decision rests with the judge after listening to both sides. So he cannot sit in this chair and ask the question why, because he's not seized with that authority. He was not the judge in the matter. The judge listened to them. The fact that I have made claims in court does not mean that the judge will agree with me. Sometimes I'll make claims and back it with evidence, and the judge will be minded to listen to me. Okay. That's what happened. We all go to court with claims.
No problem. I'll allow you to continue. I need to get back. You've been talking for 30 minutes.
No, it's not true.
It's not true. I'm not even speaking for 24 minutes.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
Am I going to get the same
You
time?
started at 8:30. Because he was being uncomfortable. You see how he was rolling in his chair when I was speaking. That's why he thinks that I've spoken for long.
I was going to address...
I don't always like this. When I'm flowing, then you come in with...
Let me address this very important issue.
No, let me finish. 8:45. No, we started at 8:30.
I mean your submission.
So no, mine was not 8:45. It was after 8:50. Trust me.
8:50.
Yeah, 8:55.
It's 9:29.
I started at 8:50.
No, it's been 26 minutes.
No, stop.
26 minutes.
No. But he spoke
and I never interrupted. You were asking me like...
asking me questions.
All right. So you land so that you land in 2 minutes so I can go. Because I need to take a break.
Yeah.
I can go for a break and then come back to you. Because I need to take a break. But you land in 2 minutes.
Moro, for me,
yes,
where I sit, I think that it will do Wontumi and his defense team a hell lot of good if the NPP decides to move away from the politics. Ordinarily, I had no plans of running commentary on this matter.
Right.
Because I don't want to see it as a political football. But to the extent that a statement was issued by the MPP, minority, and the MPP's office, we are duty-bound as communicators of the ruling NDC to also help explain the matters to the citizens of the Republic of Ghana, because we know the stock in trade of the NPP.
Right.
The judges may not be able to come out and explain why certain decisions are taken. Not every Ghanaian would have the benefit of reading the judgment.
Right.
But, you see, Bernard, you are a practitioner. When you rose on your feet, the judge did not say no to you, even though you were not part of the legal team of Chairman Wontumi. She listened to you as a friend of the court. In line with procedure, you mitigated.
Okay.
Even though my strategy for mitigation would have been different, listening to you and your interviews. Even though my strategy for mitigation would have been different, and I can assure you that with proper mitigation, Wontumi probably would have gotten the 15 years. And it was because even your mitigation was lax and porous. Because if you appear in court and you are telling the judge that because the man has so many companies, a man who is being accused.
Come on.
Oh, well,
it's public. Okay, you finish. I'll get my bites right.
If you appear in court and you are saying that because the man has so many companies and he's employed people, because of that, there's a need for the judge to mitigate. When he's used the same company or some of the companies, for which reason he's before the court.
Okay.
And you are trying to tell the judge that because he has employed people, the judge should temper justice with mercy.
All right.
When there were many other avenues you could have reached out to.
All right.
For example, maybe I don't know whether he's even a first-time offender or not.
All those things were adduced.
Yeah, first-time offender.
All those things were adduced.
You raised,
oh, yeah.
You raised that. Okay,
in fact,
let's take a short commercial break. There are people who have made this show possible. Let's acknowledge them, and then we'll come back to you. You're watching Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. Please stay with us.
Finding my dream apartment in just 2 days was a breeze with 7terragh.com. Looking for your next home, the perfect piece of land, or the best commercial property for your business? Are you worried about sending money home for property and finding nothing when you return? Well, worry no more. 7terragh.com is just a platform to find prime lands, perfect properties, or vibrant real estate development at the click of a button. 7terragh.com is your go-to property listing platform that allows you to register, list, rent, buy or sell, and connect with correct agents. With our AI-powered smart search, personalized dashboards, verified agent connection, and interactive property maps, all your property needs have been made easier. Check us out on 7terragh.com or contact us on 0302-998-246 or 0561 032 252. 7terragh.com, powered by MNC Properties.
Welcome to Gentleman Dental Clinic, where we run all dental procedures such as examination and consultation, root canal treatment, scaling and polishing, braces, teeth whitening, extraction, restoration, that is filling, teeth replacement. With this, we have the dentures, for bridges and implants. Visit our branches nationwide at Tamale, Tishibu, opposite the post office. Also at Kumasi, Abreport Junction. Techiman Magazine off the Market Road. You can also locate us at Kofridia Central Market, adjacent the Central Police Station. Takrady, Tadisco Junction. Accra, our 2 branches are located at Atomic Dam, Kwabenya Runabout, and also at Nungwa, behind the Nungwa main road station. You can call us on 059 87 31 823. Judgment Dental Clinic. It is time to smile again.
As the days come and go, there's always shit. Let colleagues explore all the planetary bodies. Our mission is in Uranus to treat hemorrhoids, anal fistula, anal fissure, anal incontinence, hydradenitis suppurativa, using laser ligature for pain-free and speedy recovery. On Uranus Street, Accra, is Main Tuber Hospital and Coloproctology Center. Trust Uranus with us, and we will delight you. Visit Main Tuber Hospital today or call us on 0244 581 541.
Madam, I'm looking for Abena.
Abena, there's someone looking for you.
Madam, please, where's Abena?
Abena, yes, ma'am. Is this who you are looking for?
Madam, please get me Abena. Please.
Della, Abena, bra.
Oh, Abena. If it's not Abena rice, you can't eat any of that.
Abena rice. FDA ajejade nkratso yatsum.
Before I take my seat, let me respond briefly to the chairperson on the issue of illegal mining. I want to assure him and all of you that Akonta Mining is not engaged in any illegal mining anywhere in Ghana as we speak. Further, the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources has, through the agency of the Forestry Commission, with the assistance of the military, made the effort to cordon off all 294 sites of forest reserves in the country and rid them of illegal mining as we speak. We will continue to work to ensure that this situation remains permanent. This government is determined to win the fight against Galamsey, no matter the cost in
Ezu Yaban Omo Mochi Omo Galamsey no Omo Atu Omo Yabama Omo Amnesty no Omo Asaba Ezu Mlojidi se Emrebia omo fomye omo enu omo ho enti yebe yi omo na yama omo another chance.
Watching Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. I'm still here with Hamza Suhini. He's a lawyer and also a member of the NDC's communications team. Bernard Oredu is also here. He's a lawyer. He's a member of the MPP's legal team as well. So, Bernard.
There's a few responses to
what Suhini
the
has said,
submissions made by my brother. First and foremost, the minority has every right to critique the judgment delivered yesterday by the High Court. And
nobody's questioning.
And the points the minority raised are very salient. You see, the bit about the constitutional interpretation was not just about the provisions in the Mining Act, but it was the 1992 Constitution, Section 19 as well. So either way, there was some substance in the arguments which had been proffered that the matter should be stayed and sent to the Supreme Court. As to whether the judge ought to have stayed, it's a matter of, a lot of people have different opinions. It's a matter of opinion, so I'll leave that. The other issue is about the corporate, lifting of the corporate veil. The judge, I sat in court, the judge even referenced to the poor or lack of corporate governance in the structure of Akonta Mining in coming to the conclusion she came to. And for me, I thought that was pure conjecture. In as much as whatever happens in a company, it's purely internal management and has not come to your attention. You could not come to that conclusion that in your thinking and in your belief, there is poor corporate governance structure within Akonta Mining and come to conclusion on such terms. I think there's so much fault with it, because that is pure conjecture. Because you are not a member of Akonta Mining, you've not had any evidence to that effect. So to conjecture and come to that conclusion, that I'm sure is problematic. And for me, it's a straight ground for something we should consider in our grounds of appeal. That is in response to him.
You don't think that based on the facts available to her?
Which facts? Relax. I sat in court.
Yes.
The facts available to one of them was the fact that
you appeared in court yesterday, just yesterday.
Hamza,
have you been part of the
trial? You see, Hamza, when you were speaking, I kept quiet.
No, but you see,
I am faulting the judge for raising corporate governance issues in a company with those kind of facts.
Are you aware of the evidence that was presented?
I am answering him. We are limiting our conversations to what the judgment said. This is what. So please relax. See, Hamza, when you're talking to me, I keep quiet too.
You didn't keep quiet.
Oh. So for me,
yes,
for you to raise corporate governance issue or lack of it in Akonta Mining to sort of firm up the conclusion you came to in piercing the corporate veil is problematic. And we shall deal with that probably when we sit to analyze.
Sorry, let me ask you this. Sorry, I beg you. I need to ask this. Was there any documentation, because I was in the court and I've been reading the thing, I haven't seen any such thing. Was there any documentation, for instance, from Akonta Mining to the third parties to do this reclamation?
No, that is why we believe, in my firm belief, that the charge of assigning of mineral rights without approval is problematic.
There's a point I'm driving home.
Yes.
If what should have been the normal administrative processes that...
For assignment.
No, I'm not even talking about assignment. So let's assume that is it Inkum? What's the name? Is it Okum? What's the name? Okum. The third parties who were doing the reclamation. It's an agency.
Exactly.
Right. Was there any documentation that officially states that these persons have been asked or directed or have been commissioned?
I guess not that I know.
Not that
I know of. So.
But do you find that as normal?
Oh, you see, that is why, in fact, it fits into why we believe that the offense of assignment of mineral rights had no legs to stand on. Because if offense...
You're not getting my point. You know, the matter...
More, then make it clear.
No, sorry.
Because I'm not getting you.
The matter in issue which the two of you have been debating.
Yes.
Because you say the judge was of the view...
Yes.
Based on whatever she knows or whatever the facts available to her, that the company's corporate governance structure was bad.
Yes.
Okay. And I asked you a very simple question, that if you were in the position of this judge, and I'm not privy to which about the other facts that she has before her.
All right, sure.
But if you were the person in the position of this judge, and you want a simple document, or you haven't seen a simple document that clearly states that I am recruiting or I'm commissioning this agency to undertake some reclamation exercise.
Yes.
Wouldn't you have a cause to ask or to wonder if the corporate governance structure within the party or within the
I get what you're saying, but that is not. I get what you're saying, but that the point I mean, that is not enough to come to the conclusion.
I understand you. I'm saying that the absence of these very important documents can give somebody a cause to say, "Hey, are you sure you guys are running this company well?"
Yes.
Because the absence of this document would then give the judge the reason to depend on the circumstantial evidence. And that is why this issue about
not at all. Not at all. On that score, contracts could be verbal, could be written.
Okay.
So if you don't have any evidence of the written instructions or contract between Mr. Akonta Mining and the third party to go into whatever they did, it is not consequential at all, because contracts could be verbal as well. So the fact that there is no written trail or documentation of the instructions given to the third parties to do what they did doesn't mean anything at all. And I'm saying that is why I am of the view that raising those issues and coming to the conclusion that the corporate governance structure of Akonta Mining was bad, and therefore using it as part of the reasons to lift the veil in itself is questionable.
Okay.
That is the point I'm trying to make. Having said that, there is this particular point that I think has even escaped you to ask questions.
Okay.
You think, in your fairest estimation, that those third parties who were used as prosecution witnesses, who were once agents of Akonta Mining Limited, do you think, in your fairest opinion, that they were not going to influence and affect the case just to exculpate them? I'm asking you this question.
We can't tell.
Okay. So let us explain to Ghanaians for them to understand.
Okay.
The very people who had gotten instructions or permission from Mr. Wontumi to go and do reclamation, who went beyond the instructions given to them to do mining and were arrested, were the same people who were relied upon to testify against Mr. Wontumi.
Brother,
you think he was ever going to get a fair hearing from these people?
Right.
Let me just not end it there. Mr. Wontumi says that I gave permission, Akonta Mining, to these third parties for reclamation. You go get them doing
illegal mining.
How do you charge Mr. Wontumi for facilitating their mining activities? When he has said that, my express instruction for them, he even goes ahead to add that they should plant what? Coconuts. Is that not the case? That is his testimony before the court.
So you believe his testimony?
Why wouldn't I believe his testimony?
And you think the judge is not seized with the fact to also believe the counter testimony? You seated here without any training as a judge.
Okay, so
you believe
is it what Hamza does?
I'm just asking you a simple question.
I believe Mr. Wontumi's testimony.
Before you go ahead, I beg, in order that it shapes your submission on this matter, you know, the show would end at 50, which is 9:50.
So
now it is 9:37. So I'll beg you, to end at 9:40 so that he
Ah,
takes
3 minutes, man.
No. You've been talking for almost 5 minutes.
So but you were
want to end at
asking,
9:40.
you know, Moro, when I'm talking, you're asking me all the questions.
More than 5
When Hamza is talking, you are quiet.
No,
He flows for like 5 minutes without interruptions.
In fact,
It's also a skill of presentation. You will leave so many gaps. The host definitely will ask you questions. You know that.
So
if you leave so many gaps,
don't
who who ask you questions?
The onus on me is not the same as the onus on him. The scale is not being balanced evenly here.
We can't solve the matter here. So I'm saying that I beg you. You use the next 3 minutes to make your case, and then I can give the 10 minutes answer. So we'd have done 10 minutes each, and I can read some
the next
messages
3
and we go.
minutes
I beg you.
will be an assurance given to our party faithfuls and the family of Mr. Wontumi that having read the judgment and having perused it, as a lawyer, first and foremost, I find that it is so much appealable. The legal team of Mr. Wontumi has also hinted that they will go and appeal this decision. I listened to one of them, and what he says is that it's not just about the sentencing alone, it's about the conviction of Mr. Wontumi himself, because the evidence as adduced really do not support it. And I'll reiterate the point that for me, this particular judgment falls short of the standard of proof when it comes to criminal prosecution. It is proof beyond reasonable doubt. And I am of the firm belief that the testimonies of these prosecution witnesses, as against the testimony of Mr. Wontumi and his witnesses, cannot give the comfort of the judge to come to the conclusion that indeed the prosecution has proved its case beyond reasonable doubt. So I'm of the firm belief that this is an appealable, and the legal team should sit to do it. Hamza also made the point that the mitigation put in and all that. You see, he was not there. So
one more minute.
Yes, he was not there.
Yes.
Counsel for Mr. Wontumi had done all that. But in mitigation, or even in law itself, there's something we call public interest and public policy consideration. Implicit in every law is public interest and public policy consideration. So for instance, if we say don't steal, it is just not because we want to criminalize stealing. It's because when you steal, you affect a third party. So we should consider the interest of the person as well. The submission was to the effect that in situations like this, when the person has already been convicted with a minimum of 15 years, look at his significance in society, which is public policy consideration. And we do this every time. So it is not as if it is only in respect of Mr. Wontumi. When you are making mitigations, you look at the circumstances of the individual and use that to appeal before the judge. And one of the circumstances with Mr. Wontumi is his significance in society. So yes, I'll pardon him for that, but let me make this final point.
Your time is up.
Oh, this final point.
Your time is up. Otherwise, you chop it.
First of all,
this final point. Hamza, just 1 minute of your time. 1 minute of your time. Mr.
I won't see that. I'm not willing to see that. I'm not willing to see that.
Our time is up.
Moro.
Hamza.
Thank you,
You see, I will not belabor the point by trying to respond to his issue of mitigation. I'll leave that for our viewers to be the better judges in relation to that matter. But first of all, my brother made references to circumstantial evidence in relation to the judgment that was delivered by the judge yesterday. And I am troubled by the demeanor of Bernard seeking to undermine the relevance of circumstantial evidence, especially when it comes to our criminal jurisprudence. He knows that the position of the law, both in the Evidence Act and that of our cases that emanated from the Supreme Court, it is quite clear that circumstantial evidence is good law and can actually lead to convictions.
Well, nobody has said so.
No, but you sought to
it should lead to an irresistible conclusion.
And you branded it as conjecture. Yes, I'll get that. So, but you should have known that. You think that the judge was boxed in, and so for that matter, the judge is not seized with the expertise to tell and link these experiences together to reach a conclusion. In any case in this country, the minister responsible for lands and natural resources, the Honorable John Samuel Abujinapo, under his own government, issued an official statement from the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources and indicated that Akonta Mining was engaged in illegal mining. Their investigations and the investigations of the Minerals Commission. And you think that all these facts were not before the judge? And so if a state agency, at the time even your president, your party was in power, came to this conclusion, and his defense is that he allowed people to go in there to reclaim. And all of a sudden, you have reduced a contractual relationship to agency and say we should deal with it according to agency law. Lawyers are watching. They are better judges when it comes to your attempt to reduce contractual relationships to agency relationship. You see, my brother, let us be fair to the law and the facts. The gentleman's explanations are funny, laughable, and problematic, and cannot stand any serious scrutiny. Because if you are in charge of a jurisdiction and allow people to come in and do reclamation, and you tell me that for all the time that the people were engaged in illegal mining, you folded your arms and you were watching them, you didn't want to do anything. You were not even interested in monitoring the kind of work that you had contracted them to do at a place that you had control. It is only because you were complicit. Indeed, they were doing it with your blessing. And even if you are the judge, tomorrow, it will be difficult for you to reach any other conclusion. Now, my brother also made reference to the fact that, but the judge, how can you conclude that the corporate, the Akonto Mining does not respect corporate, what's the name?
Governance.
Corporate governance structures. My goodness. This is basic. Even you seated in this chair knows that if you look at the operations of Akonto Mine, corporate governance is very poor. Akonta. Corporate governance is very poor.
How?
Do you think that if their corporate governance was strong, it should have required Wontumi, who is an owner, to bypass the general manager and grant a so-called contractual lease to another third party to go and reclaim lands? You think that's how we work in our state in institutions? You know this.
It's purely internal management decision.
You see, again, the prosecution witnesses, the third parties. Bernard, don't do this to our training. Don't. You know that as part of a prosecution strategy, the prosecution decides as a strategy who to engage, even if they are guilty of a crime, and decide to use those witnesses against each other. It is allowed. It is normal courtroom practice strategy for prosecution all over the world, not just in Ghana. And you know this as a matter of fact. So the fact that probably the people decided to cooperate with governments and the Attorney General in exchange for some form of immunity because of the service that they would have provided to the state is within our law. And it is done, not just in the Wontumi case. A litany of cases in our courts. It depends on the prosecution strategy and how you can easily get access to more damning evidence against an accused person. That is allowed. Moro, he also he said that. Oh, and there's one troubling. There's one troubling matter. When I listen to the MPP, they go like, okay, tomorrow is pregnant. Tomorrow is pregnant. We'll deal with you. Tomorrow is pregnant. Really? Since the birth of this fourth Republican democracy of ours, Moro, have you seen any MPP appointee thrown behind bars? After Jerry Rawlings in 2000, they threw not less than 3 of former appointees of Jerry Rawlings in jail. When the NDC came back in 2009, did we throw anyone behind jail bars?
Right.
Under Nanado, about 4 or 5 appointees were jailed. So what more can you do to an NDC government tomorrow in opposition that you think that we should be afraid? Even in between 92 to 96 and to 2000, that we didn't do anything to you. You persecuted our appointees, threw them behind bars. And you think that today, the NDC would be afraid if it goes to opposition? What worse can you do that you haven't done under Jerry John Kufuor, that you haven't done under Nanado to our former appointees? So where from that baseless threat? And who the heck says that the NDC is afraid of accountability? And the NDC is not in the business of drawing a compromise between the NPP and us. No. For us, our focus is the reset agenda, and we'll do everything within our power to ensure that those who stole resources from this state, those who violate the laws of this country, would be made to face the full rigors of the law.
Okay.
And that is what we are doing.
All right.
Those empty threats can continue. Why? When you come back in the future, are you going to line us up and start shooting us?
Nobody has said so.
You have jailed NDC former appointees before. You think that we are afraid of you?
Well, just a minute before we leave.
So, but finally on this point, Moro, finally on this point.
Our time is up. Let me just.
You see, I feel sorry for the NPP and those who are associated with it at this critical moment. You see how my brother was struggling to make a case for the NPP in terms of their support for Chairman Wontumi.
Okay.
But within him, he knows
that's what
that this is a party that does little, especially the NPP and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia as we speak today, because there's a leadership breakdown in the NPP.
Why would you say such a thing?
There's a leadership
why would you say
breakdown in the
this
NPP.
one you would have to let me.
And so,
he cannot
even the solidarity that comes within political parties appears lacking in this political party. And it boils down to leadership crisis.
Okay.
Well, just a quick response.
As whether or not Wontumi got their support, for us is irrelevant.
All right.
The most important thing is that the state was victorious. Okay. And like I indicated in my opening remarks, even the NDC is not celebrating this victory.
Okay.
And the government is not celebrating victory because it is painful for government to have its own citizens behind bars.
Hamza, thank you.
But we also, as a form of necessity,
just a quick one. Just a quick one.
I'll come back.
Just a quick one. So you would realize from the court decision that...
Moro.
He says 30 seconds.
Well, then I also come for 30 seconds.
You see, the decision of the court corroborated what Nanado said, that Akonta Mining was not engaged in illegal mining.
Okay.
And you heard the play you did, Mr. President saying, as for them, when they are in power, anybody who is convicted on illegal mining will be released. You heard, Mr. President. You heard, Mr. President. We are not like them.
You see,
we will go through. We will go through.
So if today we use the third parties,
were you also not here? Were you also not here? When President Mahama said that he knows the people doing illegal mining in his government, what has he done to them? What has he done to them? Oh, President Mahama said he knows the people in his government doing illegal mining. What has he done?
All right.
How can you lie like this, Bernard?
So you never heard it? He knows them. He said he knows the people in his government who are doing illegal mining. What has he done to them?
The president has never said
Oh,
that.
he said that. I'll look for the video. Next time when I come, I'll share the video with you.
If there's anybody doing illegal mining, the person is caught. He said he knows.
He mentioned it, that he's aware that people in his government are conniving with others to do illegal mining. Oh, are you not here when... Oh, no. The DC and the chief issue...
He told you that there is the tendency, he will not deny, there is the tendency for
He said he knows.
He knows. Well, I'll look for the video and send it.
I'm not aware.
Let
me bring in our viewers. We have some 2 minutes to bring in our viewers. So Samuel Brabo Abin says that, Moro, this is a political persecution on steroids. It should place on record that Chairman Wontumi is in prison today because President Mahama is unhappy with certain comments he made about him, his family, and the vice president. This has nothing to do with Galamsey. Samuel Brabo being said. It's all right. Samuel, if you have that video, send it to us. We'll play it. We're fair. I haven't seen that video, so if you have it, we'll play it. It's not a problem at all. Peter T. from Shukura. Peter, you've written a whole article. There are lots of people who have sent us messages. Anyway. So Peter T says that Moro, having listened to both the former and current president, one spoke as president, then one spoke as a leader in opposition, then targeting the seat of government. The important caution is that this jail sentence passed on Wontumi must serve a routine lesson to all persons, especially politicians, to be extra careful when given opportunity to serve in any position of responsibility when in government. My worry is that most of the government contracts are awarded without taking through parliamentary approval, and these are major contributing factors that see government appointees go wayward in his or her appointment. Mansa Musaf, who is a host of Voice of London in radio, it says that this is my contribution for this morning. You may read it, and it says that now with Wuntumi's case, the NDC party government will soon face the burden of deciding the fate of suspected illegal miners within their ranks. The earlier the NDC removes this, any shield of protection around such individuals, the better for Asumdwe, that's Mansa Musa, he says this one. Alhaji Hamza from Pig Farm, he says that, Alhaji, Salaam Alaikum Yade, he says that, good morning, my brother Alhaji Hamza, he says, tell my brother Hamza, he's the incoming National Communications Officer of the NDC. Has he told you he wants to go for Communications Officer? Hamza, so he says that has made justice to the issues this morning. He has indeed demonstrated this morning that he is on top of the issues. We're being told by the national executives of the MPP party that Wontumi is a political prisoner. I totally disagree. In my humble opinion, justice has been served to the good people of this country.
He's a big brother. My regards to him.
Now, yes. Now, Guy G says Galamsey is a canker, and any party that comes to power must deal ruthlessly with it, whether through fair or foul means. To our NDC friends and all government officials, if the demolition itself doesn't affect your house, you see yourself as a law-abiding citizen, it's just about time. Guy G from Cantonment. Hussein Donko is the Deputy National Service. Yes, he says the more until Wontumi entered that forest, it was intact. Take Forest Reserve. How do you reclaim or give order for reclamation if there was no mining in the first place? You can try to use words, but the judge is not dumb. Donko Hussein, Deputy Director General of the... And then Collins Adumako Mensah, who's an MP. It's a collaboration between Mora and Sweden. It's a dangerous one. I pity. And it says, I pity Oredu. Love you guys. All my friends. Greetings. Moro President Muhammad said so. Okay, he sent me some evidence of that. And then Kwame Sapon Asidu. I want to end with this one from Kwame Sapon Asidu. He's the CDD. He says that after reading the decision of the court, I find one thing strange. The third parties had no history of land reclamation. Indeed, they were small-scale miners with 17 years of experience. One, on what basis were they asked to reclaim the land? And Mark Kojochum Boafu, that's my final one. He says that in Ghana, the corporate veil is a law that says a company is separate from the directors and shareholders. When the veil is lifted, the court ignores that separation and it holds the director shareholders personally liable. And it says, judge made grounds, common law. Courts lift the veil where justice demands. The key Ghanaian cases are Mako and Kuma, and it goes on and on and on and on. Thanks for watching Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. Big thanks to MNC Group. Thank you.
Welcome to GH Schools, your #1 training institute that offers practical-based tuition in media and a variety of skill acquisition-related areas. At GH Media School, we offer journalism and media studies, journalism and media arts, TV and film production, and multimedia production. Also, you are assured of the best beauty training with GH Cosmetology School. We offer training in massage